to an apartment complex to find 3 people shot yesterday. Independent journalist Photog Steve says this happened at a supportive housing complex for young adults transitioning out of homelessness.
There are 3 females who were all shot. They believe are somewhere in their 20s. All are now at Harborview. So far, there's been no fatal. Casualty does not mean fatality.
We are told the suspect was taken into custody. They may also have been shot. We are working to get more information this morning. Also, a tragic update to a story we brought you over the weekend. Police in Olympia are now investigating the deaths of 3 people as a murder-suicide. Investigators got the call from neighbors Saturday who heard an argument, then the gunshots. 2 women and 1 man were found dead. The investigation there continues. The millionaire tax proposal in Olympia has cleared its first committee.
Democrat Yasmin Trudeau says this bill is about leveling the playing field.
There are many across this state, I think, that continue to struggle to figure out whether they're going to put food on the table.
There is nothing in this bill that is making Washington state affordable.
That's GOP State Senator Perry Dozier. Now, Republicans on the Ways and Means Committee unsuccessfully proposed several amendments, including one to lock in the 9.9% tax rate and $1 million threshold, and another to remove the emergency clause, which prevents the measure from going to voters. Frank Lindsay, KIRO Newsradio.
That bill now goes to the Rules Committee. Anti-tax activist Tim Eyman was tossed from that state Senate committee hearing. It happened just after the Senate Ways and Means Committee approved the bill.
Stand up in peaceful protest. I dissent to what the Democrats are doing.
Please.
It's wrong. I'm peacefully.
Will you please leave the security? Will you please escort Mr. Eyman out?
That was Committee Chair June Robinson. Eyman told her she was silencing dissent by having him removed. Well, your Super Bowl champions are back in Seattle. The Seahawks touched down at SeaTac yesterday afternoon after beating the Patriots in Super Bowl 60. 6 buses carried the players and coaches from the airport to the facility in Renton. A police escort led the way with the lights flashing. According to the Seattle Times, about 50 fans in green and blue were waiting outside Virginia Mason Athletic Center when they arrived. They screamed, they waved 12 flags, and gave the Champs their first taste of a Seattle welcome home. Big crowd expected for tomorrow's Super Bowl parade in downtown Seattle.
Last time we won, 2014, we had about 750,000 people. We're expecting the same, if not more, into the city this time.
Seattle Police Captain Mark McGrath Green says if you're not going to the parade, you might want to stay out of downtown Seattle. If you are going, he says you should get there early, use mass transit. The trophy presentation is set for 10 o'clock at Lumen Field tomorrow morning. The parade starts after that. It'll go along 4th Avenue to Seattle Center. 4th Ave will be closed at 6:30 in the morning. Probably won't reopen until 4. And if you're thinking about pulling the kids out of school for the parade, Seattle Public Schools says classes will go on as scheduled tomorrow, even with the big celebration. The district's chief operations officer says it's a great moment for the city, but attending the parade will not be an excused absence. If you're anywhere near the parade route again, plan ahead. The district warns families to expect traffic and transit delays. Well, as long as we're talking about traffic and transit, it's 5:13, and Chris Sullivan is here. Good morning.
Good morning. What? There's a parade?
There's a little parade.
Oh.
Up to 1 million people expected downtown tomorrow.
Wow, that's going to be fun. Yeah, the Sound Transit's added more sounder trains,
Good.
so some fixed rail as well. So, it's going to be well, depending on your point of view, a good day to be downtown or a good day not to be downtown.
I'm walking.
Oh, good. From here? Going
From my house.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah, right now on the roads, Amanda, we're looking really good. No issues across the board. We've got all green across the map. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems, 30 minutes there. And Tacoma on up into Seattle is running right around 40, so we're doing really well. Puyallup to Renton, only about 35 minutes. Renton to Bellevue's at 15. Lake bridges are quiet. Coming down from the north end, no issues from Arlington all the way down into Seattle or down into Bellevue. Drives out of the Everett area right around 35 minutes. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
You got me all excited for the parade. I'm just distracted again. All right, it's going to be a lovely day. Some fog in areas this morning. Otherwise, some sunshine by afternoon, 52. Parade day tomorrow looks nice. Again, you might see some fog early on, but then some sunshine in the afternoon and 50. Thursday, still dry with some sunshine in the afternoon. The showers return on Friday. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's chilly. It's only 42 right now. Coming up, when winter hits a small South Carolina town, one unhoused man and his loyal dog were left with nowhere to go until a community stepped in. That's coming up here on Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
It's why we bake in the sun, out on the berm every summer at training camp. It's why we scream till it hurts. Come fall and winter.
Listen to the 12th man.
It's why we're 12s.
And the party begins. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
Soak it in.
They lived up to the dark side today. It's going to go down in the history books.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
It's a new year, which means a new opportunity to grow your business. WaFd Bank Business Checking can help you hit the ground running. Our accounts are designed to help business owners like you manage cash flow, pay vendors, and keep operations running smoothly every day. Get access to digital tools like bill pay, mobile deposit, signer and non-signer debit cards, and the option to upgrade your account as your business grows. WaFd business bankers get to know you, so when you need help, we're there for you. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know that keeping your home watertight and dry is essential to your family's safety and comfort. Having well-functioning gutters prevents water damage to your home and prolongs the life of your roof. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It's now 5:19. Well, in a small town in South Carolina, an unhoused man and his dog faced tough conditions and no place to turn when the winter weather hit. Well, thanks to the kindness of strangers, the community came together to make sure he had everything he needed.
When a rare winter storm hit South Carolina, most people stayed home. But in St. George, a town of 1,800, Chris Brannon and his dog Mowgli had nowhere to go. St. George is the kind of town most people pass through. Gas stations, stoplights, Highway 78. That day, it became a hunker-down town. Chris and Mowgli couldn't. So how does an unhoused man and his dog go from this to this?
He was out there shivering. I didn't know what was on his sign.
Carlos Canales stopped when he saw Chris and Mowgli out in the cold. He gave Chris all the cash he had, but as the temperature dropped well below freezing, one thought wouldn't let him go.
I went back to ask Chris if he wanted something to eat. Was he hungry? That's where I seen the icicles on his beard.
Carlos got Chris some hot food and then headed home.
that's when I was having a conversation with my wife. She just told me, Carlos, I think God's trying to tell you something.
So he went back out and posted on Facebook asking for help finding Chris and Mowgli. And that's when this small town answered.
And that's when I got bombarded by phone calls after phone calls on Messenger.
Lisa Stewart Westbury called. She's a retired judge's assistant and lifelong St. George resident.
I called Ruthie and I said, can you go with me? We got to go find a homeless guy and get him in a hotel. It's going to freeze tonight. And she said, I'll be ready in 10 minutes.
All right, Ruthie, we got to go.
Lisa and Councilmember Ruthie Tripp searched the town, following clues from the community Facebook page. And then they saw them.
He had icicles in his beard. That's how cold it was. And rainy.
Yeah. So Ruthie pulls up the picture and says, is this you? And he says, yeah. So at that point, we tell him that we'd like to get him a hotel room.
By the time they made it to a nearby hotel, the community of St. George had raised enough money for Chris and Mowgli to stay for a week.
Our community, when we ask, we get.
But it's the town of friendly people. Like the sign says, the town of friendly people.
Holly Noble, an EMT, saw the post and responded with a winter coat for Mowgli, despite her own circumstances.
I literally had to borrow some gas money just to get to work to the next paycheck. But I sat there and calculated my mileage and going, okay, I have enough to get there. I can go do this.
Hairstylist Kyla Granger gave Chris a fresh look. Mowgli got one too, from retired veterinary technician Brianna McKenzie. More than 70 acts of generosity followed. Cash donations, warm meals, all enough to make sure Chris and Mowgli didn't face the storm alone.
Some of the people that help really don't have much at all, and they're giving.
We brought everyone together at the local motel where Chris and Mowgli had been staying. And where the motel's manager offered more nights of shelter free.
That's the proof that I do always feed him first.
Did you find him or did he find you?
He found me. He found me. And it was interesting because it was about 6 months after my father passed away.
Dear Lord, we just thank you for letting us be your hands and your feet in this part of Chris's life and his journey. Amen.
Amen.
You guys have definitely given us another chance at life, and this time here will make a difference through the whole year.
I'm so proud of him.
I'm proud of our community.
He could have ditched the dog. He could have ditched life. He could have rejected our help. But our community loves people.
I've been there. I've slept in my truck with my dog before. I mean, I've been there. I know what it's like. And thank God nobody judged me. And I'm definitely not going to sit there and judge him. I don't know his story. I just wanted to help. I wanted to do what I could.
In St. George, kindness didn't make the headlines.
The blessings were just flowing.
It just answered the call.
And honestly, I feel like it's really about the community helping us more than me personally.
What struck me was the diversity of different people from different backgrounds. That speaks volumes right there. There was no racial barrier that you saw. What you saw is humanity.
It's 5:24. Check on the weather now. It's going to be nice after the fog lifts. 52 our high today with some sunshine in the afternoon. Actually, they describe it as abundant sunshine. We'll take it. Or tomorrow, parade day, fog in the morning, some sunshine in the afternoon again, and 50. Thursday, same deal. And then Friday, it looks like we'll start to see some showers again. Showers on Saturday as well. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 42 degrees. And coming up, CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger will break down the wild swings on Wall Street so far this year. That's next here on Seattle's Morning News.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Nick, did you know this is called quit time? Did you know what that is?
I do not know.
That means right about this time of the year, people quit their New Year's resolutions.
Oh, kind of like last year.
Okay, never mind. The important thing is that both of us made a New Year's resolution that we would take better care of ourselves for each other. And we're holding to that.
We are not flaming out because...
Longevity Medical Clinic. So we get the support of Longevity. We told them what our goals were, and they're like, absolutely, we'll get you in line. So they support me, they support you, and then as a couple, they're making us accountable for the decisions we make. So we're not going to be quitting on these things. I can't remember what your New Year's resolution was around the house.
My New Year's resolution around the house was that I was going to try to get you to start putting things away.
And I was going to get you to actually learn how to cook a piece of chicken.
Oh, well, that's for next year.
Okay, fine. Either way, we've got a team behind us. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83 or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83 or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83 or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83 or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Yep, it's raining out there. Integrity Roofing and Construction is your trusted local roofing team. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected from the northwest rains. Visit IntegrityRC.com to schedule a roof assessment or video inspection today. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
For seniors, the new year is a good time to reassess finances. If you're struggling with bills, our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be a great way to ease your stress.
Seniors tell me all the time, we love our home, we love to stay here, but we just can't afford it anymore. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off your debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let your home work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me. Never a sales pitch and never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage experts, the VA loan and debt consolidation experts too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE. Go to k2visionrle.com and schedule a free Zoom consultation today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Permanently.
File your taxes for free with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. File on your own in the Credit Karma app by February 28th. Valid for those who didn't file with TurboTax last year.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer. In Pierce County, join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It is 5:31. I'm Manda Factor. 3 women are recovering at Harborview after a shooting in Auburn. Independent journalist Photog Steve was on the scene quickly yesterday afternoon. He says this happened just after 4 o'clock at an apartment complex that serves young adults who are transitioning out of homelessness.
There's a 4th person they believe is a suspect, a male who may also be shot, who may have shown up at a Walgreens down the road, pretty bloody at that time. They flew down there to try and get him. He was not there when they arrived.
Photog Steve reports that suspect was later found. We'll bring you more details as they come in. A state Senate committee passed the so-called millionaire tax bill yesterday, and anti-tax activist Tim Eyman stood up in what he called a peaceful protest. Ways and Means Committee Chair June Robinson had him escorted out, and Eyman responded.
Silencing dissent. That's what you're doing.
The bill would impose a nearly 10% tax on people who make more than $1 million a year. It now heads for the Senate Rules Committee. Well, as many as 1,012,000 could be on hand for the Seahawks Super Bowl parade tomorrow. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin checks in with the King County Sheriff's Office about security preparation.
Deputies say there will be plenty of law enforcement flooding downtown to keep people safe on Wednesday.
We have a plan in place right now. We want to be prepared for everything.
The Seahawks are already encouraging people to take public transit since parking will be difficult.
Be patient, be smart, don't drink and drive.
If you do plan on being one of the hundreds of thousands of people expected to attend the parade, officers say they want you to report anything suspicious if you see it.
Seattle Sonics fans may soon learn if the NBA is coming back to the city. Reports say the NBA Board of Governors could vote on league expansion this summer, with Seattle one of the front runners. The news comes after last week's virtual meeting between NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and Washington Governor Bob Ferguson. The governor's office confirms the conversation was about bringing the Sonics back. It's 5:33. That's time for a check on traffic. Once again, we check in with Chris Sullivan.
Yeah, I got some fog out there in the South Sound to keep an eye on if you can look through it. Visibility is going to be an issue in some places. Most places not. It's primarily south of our general Seattle commute. But we're looking at a few more customers today coming up the Valley Freeway, already up to 40 minutes there, and then Renton to Bellevue is only 15. Federal Way to Seattle starting to see a little congestion around 320th, but 35 to 38 minutes to get you to Seattle's pretty good. Olympia to Tacoma, don't have any issues there yet. Coming down from the north end, nice and easy. We got about 15 minutes before we start seeing the braking there through Northgate. All in all, 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Across the lake, no problem. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Yeah, there is a dense fog advisory in effect this morning, but after that, we'll see lots of sunshine, warming up to 52 today. Tomorrow, pretty much the same deal. Not quite as much in the way of sun, but it'll be a nice dry day, 50 the high. For Thursday, same deal. Friday, looks like the showers return, and they'll be with us on Saturday as well. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 42.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News. News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Jill Schlesinger from CBS News and the Jill on Money blog. This week, Jill, let's maybe take a breath here, because if you are faint of heart, this has not been the time to be on Wall Street, right?
It's been quite a interesting 5 weeks, quite a ride. Woo. I tell you that when I think the beginning of January, one of our producers at CBS reached out to me and said, I'm working on a story for the Dow going above the 50,000 milestone. And it was like early-ish January. And I was like, okay, so we started working on some stuff. And then really the markets seemed to go straight down after that moment. And I said, I sent a note early, like midweek last week. I said, we must have been the kiss of death for the stock market. As soon as we started working on this, straight down. But then stocks came roaring back. Friday, we did see that the Dow did go above that 50,000 level and ended above 50,000. Pretty amazing. But, you know, I think that it's pretty instructive to look at the last 5 weeks to understand how you can be a better investor. Okay. And just like a better student of what's happening. And my first lesson of of these first 5 weeks is that beware of the bandwagon. I mean, there are so many people who jumped on the crypto bandwagon and, you know, we're all excited when, you know, we got to October of last year and we were above 125,000 in Bitcoin. And essentially the value of Bitcoin has been cut in half. And that is pretty stunning. So I understand that you want to be part of stuff that is like in the ether out there, but you have to be careful. And when you're looking at the bandwagon, whether it's crypto or the next bandwagon, which is maybe precious metals, you have to understand just how volatile these assets can be. And you should limit your exposure to these very volatile assets to only up to 5% of your total investment portfolio. That's it. Because then if it gets cut in half, if it loses a third of its value, if anything like that happens, you're not derailing your entire portfolio and your long-term goals.
And it still holds that if you were somebody who just simply invested to the S&P 500, that is something that year after year you're seeing about 7% returns. But you have to be patient and maybe not go after the bright shiny object.
I think that we are all really seduced by greed. It is just one of those human emotions. We have fear and greed, two ends of the spectrum. And so the greed is you start hearing that like your cousin's friend is a Bitcoin millionaire and it makes you nuts. Then you jump in and you lose a bunch of money, you jump out. Then you do it again and then it goes back and forth. And you really can see how we get into this fear greed cycle where you are just sort of lured in by the potential and then you take yourself out because it's just so exhausting. But again, if you do reduce the amount that you are exposed to anything, you're more likely to just sort of ride it out or write it off, either one. But I think that when you look at a portfolio of a stock index fund, a bond index fund, you want to throw a commodity index fund in there, little cash, what you see over time is that these are the portfolios that will deliver you the growth you need to reach your goals. And that's the only reason that you are investing. This is not a sport, gang. This is to get to a place where you want to get to identify retirement or college funding, or I want to buy a house in 10 or 15 years, whatever it is, you are setting out a goal and you're trying to achieve that goal with the help of growth of your portfolio.
All right, Jill Schlesinger, by the way, who called it last week? You said the Seahawks were going to win. And what happened yesterday? The Seahawks won.
They won. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Congratulations. So happy for you guys.
Thank you, Jill.
Take care.
Jill Schlesinger, CBS News, JillOnMoney.com.
It's 5:39. From the DHS funding showdown to the Epstein files, national headlines on the way here on KIRO Newsradio.
Soak it in, Seattle.
3, 2, 1. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60. They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Congratulations to your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
We got the best team. 12 is 1. We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other. And now we're world champions.
And this is where the champs play. The home of the Seahawks, KIRO News Radio.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. You know, Dave, I love sport. You love sport. And I love sitting with coaches and hearing their game plan each and every week. What are the keys to a First Mark Insurance game plan?
It's a great question, Brock. I think there's really 3 keys to a great game plan with us. Number 1 is we want to make sure that our clients have the correct coverage for their unique specific needs. So that's number 1. Do you have the right coverage? Number 2, once we have the right coverage, are we getting that coverage at the most competitive price possible? And then last and not least would be, once we have the right coverage at the most competitive price, are we providing world-class service to those customers so that when they need it, they have someone there that's got their back?
Those are the 3 keys to a First Mark Challenge victory. And man, am I so glad Molly and I took the challenge. We are one of so many through a decade plus of being a First Mark Challenge victory. You can too. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com, firstmarkinsurance.com.
CBS News Brief. Savannah Guthrie makes a new plea, asking the public for help finding her 84-year-old mother just before a second ransom deadline passed.
Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where.
A ransom note demanded millions in Bitcoin. Opening statements are underway in New Mexico's lawsuit against Facebook's parent company, Meta. State Attorney General Raul Torres.
They've established one of the largest online platforms in the world where we know predators are going each and every day to try and target and exploit children.
Lindsey Vonn says she'll need multiple surgeries for a fractured tibia after she crashed on her first run at the Winter Olympics. CBS's Seth Stone from Cortina, Italy.
She writes that she was simply 5 inches too tight on her line when her right arm hooked inside of the gate. She writes, twisting me and resulted in my crash.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
It's 5:44. Quick check on the forecast. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon. Some pretty thick fog this morning, though. We do have a dense fog advisory in effect. 52 the high, overnight lows in the mid-30s again. Tomorrow looks nice for the parade. Fog early on, then some sunshine in the afternoon and 50. Same deal on Thursday. Showers on Friday, and it looks like Saturday morning as well. Right now it's partly cloudy and 42 in Seattle. And coming up, New York Times reporter David Farenthold joins us to unpack the biggest political stories of the week and what they reveal about power, influence, and accountability in Washington. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For seniors, the new year is a good time to reassess finances. If you're struggling with bills, our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be a great way to ease your stress.
Seniors tell me all the time, we love our home, we'd love to stay here, but we just can't afford it anymore. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off your debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let your home work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me. Never a sales pitch and never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage experts, the VA loan and debt consolidation experts too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know GoodRx can help you save on medication, manage prescriptions, and get trusted health information? If you're one of the millions living with a heart condition, check GoodRx for an easier, more affordable way to manage your health. GoodRx offers common heart medications for under $30. Just search for your prescription, find the best price, then show your pharmacist the GoodRx coupon. And it works whether you have insurance or not. To start saving and better manage your heart health, download the free app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974. This is KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. It is 5:48. Congress returned to Washington yesterday, where they face a tight Friday deadline to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Otherwise, the department faces another shutdown.
The House will be in order.
On Capitol Hill, the clock is ticking towards another funding deadline. Lawmakers have until Friday to pass funding for the Department of Homeland Security.
It's very possible we won't have our work finished by then.
With just days to go, negotiations over immigration and customs enforcement reforms have reached a stalemate.
I'm sorry to say we've made little progress in reaching an agreement.
Democrats have a list of 10 demands, including the ending of roving immigration patrols, mandatory body cameras, and the unmasking of officers.
All we're asking is that ICE and other federal immigration agents adhere to reasonable standards to maintain trust, safety, and accountability in our communities.
While Republicans say they're only open to some of the reforms on the Democrats' list, many, like South Carolina Republican Lindsey Graham, are also calling for the end to sanctuary city policies. Graham says despite not supporting their demands, he will make sure the Democrats get a full vote on the Senate floor.
I certainly would not expect the whole list to be adopted.
In the event of a shutdown, ICE has contingency funds to keep operating. So the effects of a DHS shutdown would mostly be felt by agencies like TSA and FEMA. Some lawmakers say they'd be okay with another short-term funding extension.
We need to keep working toward a solution. And if it's going to take longer than a few days, we need to provide the time necessary to finish the job.
In Washington, I'm Gabrielle Caracciolo.
Well, during testimony yesterday, Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell repeatedly pleaded to the fifth in video testimony to Congress.
New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold joins us this morning. David, good morning. This was not unexpected yesterday.
No, I was a little surprised by the second part of it, which is that she said, but I will testify and I will guarantee I will clear Donald Trump's name as long as he gets me out of jail. As long as he gives me some clemency, I'll come testify and I'll tell you everything you want to know, and especially tell you that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. To me, it seemed like a pretty blatant plea for clemency. It'll be interesting to see if Trump goes along with that. I don't see how anyone could really believe her if she would say that in return for getting out of jail.
This does come as members of Congress have seen the unredacted Epstein files, at least some of them. What are we finding out about that?
Well, that's something I've been trying to follow. I think that it's going to be a really interesting view into what was redacted, because there has been some speculation that, it was Donald Trump's name or there's something else embarrassing that was in their Epstein files that was left redacted. We're still waiting to hear the full details from those reviews.
Do you expect this is going to be a long, drawn-out thing with Ghislaine Maxwell?
I do, just because I can't see Trump falling for this. I can't see Trump giving her clemency and sort of implicating himself in a dirty deal related to Epstein. I think what he wants now with Epstein is to stay the heck away from it. And if what she does is plead the fifth and not say any more and stays in jail, I think that's fine for him without him having to sort of own, freeing the one person who's been held accountable for this horrible string of crimes.
And there is some reporting this week that Donald Trump evidently made some sort of call to Palm Beach police in the early 2000s. Are you hearing anything about that from your viewpoint?
Well, it's an interesting report. I mean, we know that he and Epstein were close then. We know that Trump is very close to the Palm Beach police. He hosts at Mar-a-Lago the Palm Beach Police Foundation's annual gala. The Palm Beach police also are not all they do is really take care of rich people. So they're an agency that's I think very susceptible to that kind of power play. We don't know exactly what was said, and we don't know what role Trump played, but that's a really interesting question, an open question, if he played some sort of role in helping Epstein that way.
David, I want to ask you about your recent piece in the Times that begs the question, at what point does offering donors access to a sitting president, especially through tax-deductible gifts, cross from traditional fundraising into pay-to-play politics? What prompted this?
So we've been writing a lot about the celebrations of America's 250th birthday, which is this year. And this originally had been planned to be kind of a bipartisan, celebration of American spirit and volunteerism and things like that. Trump has basically bypassed the bipartisan commission that was running that previous effort and is now setting up his own thing called Freedom 250. And it's going to celebrate him, basically, and things that he likes. There's a UFC fight planned on the White House grounds. There's an IndyCar race in D.C. He wants to build a triumphal arch here in Washington. And he wants to have a bunch of events that celebrate sort of Christian events, specifically celebrating parts of his base. And so what we found is that he's trying to raise money for that. And so he's one of the things they've offered people is if you pay $2.5 million toward this, you can speak in July 4th, and you get an audience with the president. Now, obviously, as you talked about, lots of presidents fundraise, lots of presidents talk to donors who give them money. So it's not new that people would be there would be access to the president offered for sale. What's interesting is, though, it's happening in the president's second term. He can't run for re-election, so he's not raising money for re-election. Instead, he seems to be setting up all these other projects that sort of glamorize himself and give him some legacy. And, so the access, the selling of access to the president continues now far into the second term.
And David, at any point in your article, does the word semi-quincentennial appear?
It does. It does. I don't think we're going to be able to popularize that term, semi-quincentennial. It means 250th. That is the official name, the U.S. Semi-Quincentennial Commission. I think that was a mistake.
It's half a 500-year period. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. I'm just being honest there. All right. New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold joining us this morning. Really appreciate your time, and go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Thanks, sir.
Can't wait for the parade tomorrow. David, thank you so much. Wish you could be here with us to celebrate. It's 5:54. Let's check our forecast. We're going to see some fog this morning. We do have a dense fog advisory in effect, but sunshine for the afternoon, warming up to about 52. For tomorrow, fog in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon for the parade, and a high of 50. Thursday looks the same. Things will change on Friday. We'll see some showers roll back in. They'll be around on Saturday, too. Right now, it's partly cloudy and 42 in Seattle.
We have more of the day's top stories, including news of 4 people shot in Auburn. The details on that coming up, plus a look at the parade preps for the big day tomorrow. That's all on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
This is what it's all about, right?
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The pure joy.
To beat the Patriots, especially in the 49ers Stadium, it means everything.
It's a great time to be alive for Seattle fans. It's why we're 12s.
Just like Mike McDonald said, we did not care.
We got a parade to get to.
Seattle will hold a victory parade Wednesday.
We are the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO Newsradio.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Save $1,700 when you have Day and Night match your current furnace with a qualifying AC or heat pump.
Your furnace is lonely all by itself, but it doesn't have to be. With our Matchmaker Special, we'll match your furnace with a perfect air conditioner or heat pump to keep your furnace company and your home comfy all year round.
Match your furnace to a qualifying cooling system and save $1,700.
DayandNight.net. At the Boy Scouts of America, our oath remains. A Scout pledges to be kind, helpful, and brave. We're committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment where Scouts can establish the foundations of character that will last a lifetime. Our approach ensures the Boy Scouts of America is building the youth of today into the leaders we'll turn to tomorrow. The Boy Scouts of America. Building character is in our nature. Visit scouting.org to learn more about Scouting.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about artificial intelligence.
I cannot answer that.
Many professions are using it, and allegedly some are even being taken over by it. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know police are leveraging AI, whether it's analyzing body cam footage, reading license plates, or even facial recognition. AI has become a helpful tool, enabling officers to work more efficiently. And efficiency for them means more people getting pulled over. You can't chat GPT your way out of a high BAC. Getting legal advice from AI is no substitute for an attorney. Use AI correctly, or it can result in trouble, like a self-driving car taking you home from a bar.
You have reached your destination.
So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. If you get pulled over for DUI, the only thing you need your smart device to do is call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. In her latest video, Savannah Guthrie calls it an hour of desperation in the search for her family's 84-year-old mother, Nancy. It's been well over a week since she was kidnapped from her home in Tucson. A second ransom deadline came and went yesterday. CBS's Anna Schechter.
She has tried strategically with the support of the FBI to get them to start a negotiation for the release of her mother. Now she seems to have moved on to a phase 2, just asking the public, if you've seen anything, say something.
There's pressure on a Trump administration official in the Jeffrey Epstein case. CBS's Scott McFarland from Washington.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has faced new calls to resign after CBS News reported Lutnick was in business with Epstein as recently as 2014 and arranged a visit to Epstein's island with his wife and children in 2012, despite saying last year he had cut off ties with Epstein in 2005. A Commerce Department spokesperson called the men's interactions limited.
A trial is underway in Los Angeles, taking social media companies to task for allegedly designing their products to get kids addicted. There's another case underway in New Mexico accusing Facebook's parent company of opening children up to sexual exploitation. Loyola law professor Lori Levinson.
The New Mexico Attorney General is arguing that, in fact, Meta knew exactly what they were doing, that they knew they were setting up a platform that would allow predators to implement schemes to take advantage of young people, and that they put together a product, namely Facebook and Instagram, that were inherently dangerous.
Air Canada is the first airline to say it's suspended service in and out of Cuba because of a U.S. blockade on oil shipments. Cuban officials say they won't have enough for planes to refuel there. It's also affecting the availability of gasoline on the island. Jesus Saname couldn't get a taxi to the airport.
I had to call like 10 people because they said, I don't have gas. I don't have a way to take you to the airport.
There's a problem with Olympic medals in Italy.
German biathlete Philipp Nahlrath was jumping up and down celebrating when his bronze medal broke off its band and crashed to the floor. U.S. figure skating gold medalist Ellie Kam says the same thing happened to teammate Alyssa Liu.
It just popped off and it fell on the ground and it got a couple dents on it.
The game's chief operations officer, Andrea Francisi, heard through a translator.
We are fully aware of the situation. We are looking to exactly what the problem is.
Some medals have broken in two. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Dow futures are down 22, S&P futures off 2. This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Going to steal Sully's line here. Sully, this is what you get when you order an Olympic medal off of Temu.
Yeah, this was about to say. Yeah, way to go, Italy.
They didn't mention it, but the skier, Breezy Johnson, who's a Western alum, it happened to her. She was just jumping up and down. The ribbon broke, and down went the medal.
There you go. 6:03
Poor
now.
craftsmanship.
Let's check traffic with Chris Sullivan.
Yeah, we're already off to the races on southbound I-5 through the Northgate area, already up to 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle, so a little bit behind schedule there. Everett to Bellevue, by comparison, 35 minutes, so we haven't quite gotten heavy away from Linwood as of yet, but we're just, we're getting there. It's not going to take too much longer. Olympia to Tacoma, 35 minutes, a little hesitation at the bottom of Nisqually, and then Federal Way to Seattle's running right around 35. Under 40 from Puyallup to Renton, a few brake lights in Sumner, a little bit out of Auburn, and then Renton to Bellevue's only 15. Lake bridges are good. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. It's home show season. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving you 25% off. Make that 20% off, plus 12 months, same as cash financing. Visit them at the home shows or at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. 3 women are recovering at Harborview Medical Center after a shooting at a youth homeless facility in Auburn.
KIRO 7 TV reports it happened yesterday afternoon at the Phoenix Rising Apartments on 26th Street Northeast. Phoenix Rising is a program for young adults experiencing homelessness. One woman is in critical condition, another serious, and a third is satisfactory. A fourth person, a man, turned up at South Center Mall in Tukwila with a gunshot wound to his arm. Police are still working to figure out what led to the shooting and how the victims knew the shooter.
The millionaire tax proposal in Olympia has cleared its first committee.
Democrat Yasmin Trudeau says this bill is about leveling the playing field.
There are many across this state, I think, that continue to struggle to figure out whether they're going to put food on the table.
There is nothing in this bill that is making Washington state affordable.
That's GOP State Senator Perry Dozier. Now, Republicans on the Ways and Means Committee unsuccessfully proposed several amendments, including one to lock in the 9.9% tax rate and $1 million threshold, and another to remove the emergency clause, which prevents the measure from going to voters. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
That bill now goes to the Rules Committee.
And anti-tax activist Tim Eyman was actually tossed from that hearing. It happened just after the Senate Ways and Means Committee approved the bill.
Up in peaceful protest. I dissent to what the Democrats are doing.
Please.
It's wrong. I'm peacefully.
Will you please leave the security? Will you please escort Mr. Eyman out?
That was Committee Chair June Robinson. Eyman told her she was silencing dissent by having him removed.
Now that the U.S. government won't be making any new pennies, there's a proposal in Olympia to adjust cash transaction in our state. The plan would call for prices to be rounded up or down to the nearest nickel. Molly Poffenroth with the Washington Food Industry Association supports the idea.
Our stores have been short on pennies for several months through the holidays. It's been pretty concerning.
The bill passed out of the Senate Business Committee last week.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Still feeling it?
I still feel it. And now my new question is it parade time yet?
It's not parade time, Amanda. That's tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Patience has never been my strong point.
My goodness. That is going to be huge, guys. Yeah. They're saying 750 to a million people.
It's going to be crazy.
Think about the state of Washington. Our entire state population is 8 million. That would,
Well, there you go. Roughly 1 in 8.
Up to 1 in 8 people in all of Washington could be along 4th Avenue tomorrow.
I can't wait to kind of leave the office early. Get away.
And get out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we will be getting you all the parade details in just a moment. It's a busy morning for us. Glad to have you with us on Seattle's Morning News. That's Manda. That's Sully. I'm Charlie. We have Nick Krasia picking the music and running the board, and Jonah Oakley filling in for producer David Burbank. And we can't forget Jillian Raftery out at the news desk.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
And Sully, you have a choke point coming up.
Yeah, we do. Words are flying between a small town mayor and the governor about whether he's focusing on the right Washington as she deals with an emergency in her community.
We're also going to have an update on the pilot who believed he was sending his final message to air traffic control during an emergency landing in Georgia. If you haven't heard this, stay with us.
Okay, here we go. Big parade for Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks set for tomorrow.
As we mentioned, at least 750,000 people are expected to attend. Seattle Police Captain Mark Garth Green says 4th Avenue will be shut down starting at 6:30 in the morning.
We need that so we can deploy our fencing, deploy our barriers, and get everybody safely on the route to watch the parade.
The trophy ceremony for the Hawks starts at 10 o'clock at Lumen Field. When it's over, the parade will go from there to Seattle Center.
Okay, if you're heading downtown tomorrow to watch the parade, leave the car at home. Transit agencies across the region are urging fans to take public transportation. Hundreds of thousands of people expected to line 4th Avenue. Sound Transit will run link trains every 6 minutes from Linwood to Federal Way starting at 5 a.m. There will also also be extra sounder trains from Tacoma to Everett.
And King County Metro is adding service too, but many bus routes will be rerouted because of those street closures. The water taxi's adding sailings from Vashon and West Seattle. Kitsap Transit is boosting fast ferry service from Bremerton, Kingston, and Southworth. Transit leaders warn park and ride lots will fill up early, so plan ahead. They're also encouraging people to stick around downtown after the parade to spread out the demand on the way home.
And expect plenty of law enforcement in downtown for the parade. King County Sheriff's Deputy Jace Hoke spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
It's going to be obviously alcohol consumed. We ask you to have a plan and don't get in a vehicle if you've been drinking.
Now the parade begins after the trophy celebration at Lumen Field at 10 a.m. A lot of people going to line 4th Avenue.
And now it is time to meet the new Super Bowl Barbie.
You know Barbie wouldn't miss a big opportunity. Mattel is debuting a Super Bowl 60 Seattle Seahawks doll. She's dressed in green pants and a green, gray, and blue short-sleeved shirt. To top off the look, a white visor and a blue foam finger raised in the number 1 to celebrate the winners. Barbie fans can pre-order the new dolls online. Price tag, $35. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
I'm not going to buy a Barbie. Not going to buy a Barbie.
Oh, yeah, you are.
El Pollo Loco is looking to bring even more grilled chicken to Seattle. The chain just opened its first Washington location in Kent about 2 months ago. Now it's searching for franchise operators and real estate to open 30 to 40 locations across Western Washington. El Pollo Loco, founded back in 1974. They've got all the chicken and tacos and quesadillas, family meals. Puget Sound Business Journal reports Seattle push is part of a bigger plan for the company to grow nationwide.
Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company is setting up shop in Bellevue. City permit filings show XAI has leased a full floor at Lincoln Square South in downtown. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, that's about 25,000 square feet, space that used to belong to video game maker Epic Games. Bellevue has become a hotspot for AI companies looking to compete in the industry.
Okay, looking for love this Valentine's Day? The Humane Society for Tacoma and Pierce County might be able to help. Starting Thursday, adoption fees drop to just $14. Deal runs through Valentine's Day. Fox 13 reports nearly 100 dogs, cats, and rabbits are looking for forever homes. If you're not ready to adopt, the shelter says it could really use new or gently used towels, especially hand towels. You can browse pets available for adoption on the Humane Society's website.
Keep me away, please.
Yes.
I already
you have a problem
3.
with that.
I do have a problem with that. I'd love to take all of them home. Well, some of America's most important historical documents are coming to Seattle this summer. Mohi announced it'll host the Freedom Plain National Tour as part of the nation's 250th anniversary celebration. Seattle is one of only 8 cities nationwide to host the exhibit. It's the final stop on the tour. Original documents on display will include an 1823 engraving of the Declaration of Independence, the Treaty of Paris, and a rare draft of the Constitution with handwritten notes. The exhibit runs July 30th through August 16th. It'll be free and open to the public.
That sounds so cool.
Right?
I really want to see that. Okay, 6:12, we check in with meteorologist Nick Allard from KIRO 7 TV. Nick, we're definitely going to want to pay attention to the parade forecast.
Yeah, and it will be a lot like this morning, except that this morning the fog is in the South Sound, but tomorrow it's going to be everywhere. So we have some dense fog around Olympia. We have some dense fog around Chehalis and Shelton. We will see that lift, and absolutely you will see some increasing sunshine today. The clouds that we're going to see around Seattle North this morning also will lift, and we'll see beautiful sunshine again in the upper 40s and lower 50s. So a beautiful day, but tomorrow you can expect fog for the parade. At least, how about this? You can expect fog as you're heading down there. And then between like 10 to noon, we'll see that fog start to lift, and I think you will see some increasing sunshine, and it should be a pretty nice day. You just have to expect to have the fog as you're going. So you'll have fog during the beginning of it. From like 11 to 12, we start to see some sunshine increasing, and then it's just beautiful for the afternoon with highs in the low 50s. And then we see some more clouds Thursday, showers Friday and Saturday, a little Sunday, but not much. And then Monday also seeing some showers, and it'll be a lot cooler in the low to mid 40s. So tomorrow, if you're heading down there early, please know, yes, you're going to have some fog. Yes, it's going to be cold, but it will be a beautiful day in the afternoon. You are absolutely going to clear. Just have to be patient because the fog will be around there for at least the first half of the day, and then increasing sunshine.
All right. Thank you, Nick. Right now it's 41 in Seattle.
It's 6:13. That's time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. What's up, Sully?
Well, the heaviest drive coming down from Linwood, as you might expect, with the loss of the express lanes. We've kind of gotten used to this over the last month. Heavy brake lights begin right around 145th and Shoreline and extend past the forced merge there in Northgate. You have about a 43-minute trip from Everett down into Seattle. We're still under 40 from Everett into Bellevue. Haven't quite materialized there, but we're definitely starting to see some slowing as you pull away from Linwood. The drive up the Valley Freeway doesn't look too bad at this point, about 42 minutes. There's some brake lights in the Auburn area. Getting there on westbound 410 is a little slow, just some volume trying to work your way through Sumner. The general Pierce County area is quiet. Olympia to Tacoma is 35 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle's running under 40, which is great. And the Lake Bridges are quiet. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live. Stream it online. Watch the show or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Ghislaine Maxwell pleaded the fifth during her deposition yesterday, where she appeared virtually before the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. Here's News Nation Vinay Simlan.
Ghislaine Maxwell is Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend. She was found guilty by a jury in New York of sex trafficking. She was accused of helping Jeffrey Epstein abuse underage girls. On Monday in a deposition, she refused to answer any questions.
Ghislaine Noel Marion Maxwell.
Appearing from a prison camp in Texas where she's serving a 20-year sentence, Ghislaine Maxwell, in a prison-issued brown shirt, invoked the Fifth Amendment in a deposition to Congress.
Were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions.
Her attorney, David Oscar Marcus, says it's because Maxwell is petitioning a court to overturn her conviction, arguing constitutional violations spoiled her trial.
Ms. Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump. Both President Trump and President Clinton are innocent of any wrongdoing. Ms. Maxwell alone can explain why.
So far, the Department of Justice has released 3.5 million pages of documents connected to Epstein. Republican Congressman Thomas Massey and Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna say they visited the Department of Justice to view unredacted documents. They say the files include evidence others have sexually abused girls.
We found 6 men whose names have been redacted who are implicated. One is pretty high up in the foreign government.
One of the others is a pretty prominent individual.
Massey and Khanna say they would like to see the Department of Justice go through the files again and look at those 6 individuals. Meantime, the White House says President Trump is not considering clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell. In Washington, I'm Vinay Simlat.
And Grammy winner Chappell Roan has left the Wasserman Talent Agency after its CEO was named in the Epstein files.
Casey Wasserman has acknowledged his series of sexually suggestive emails with Epstein confidant Ghislaine Maxwell in 2003. He has not been accused of any wrongdoing. Chappell Roan said in an Instagram post, no artist, agent, or employee should be expected to defend or overlook actions that conflict so deeply with their own moral values. Los Angeles leaders have called on Wasserman to resign as chairman of the 2028 LA Olympics, but the IOC's vice president says she has full trust in Wasserman. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Congress faces a tight Friday deadline to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Otherwise, the department faces another shutdown. Here's News Nation's Gabrielle Caracciolo.
The House will be in order.
On Capitol Hill, the clock is ticking towards another funding deadline. Lawmakers have until Friday to pass funding for the Department of Homeland Security.
It's very possible we won't have our work finished by then.
With just days to go, negotiations over immigration and customs enforcement reforms have reached a stalemate.
I'm sorry to say we've made little progress in reaching an agreement.
Democrats have a list of 10 demands, including the ending of roving immigration patrols, mandatory body cameras, and the unmasking of officers.
All we're asking is that ICE and other federal immigration agents adhere to reasonable standards to maintain trust, safety, and accountability in our communities.
While Republicans say they're only open to some of the reforms on the Democrats' list, many, like South Carolina Republican Lindsey Graham, are also calling for the end to sanctuary city policies. Graham says despite not supporting their demands, he will make sure the Democrats get a full vote on the Senate floor.
I certainly would not expect the
full list to be adopted.
In the event of a shutdown, ICE has contingency funds to keep operating. So the effects of a DHS shutdown would mostly be felt by agencies like TSA and FEMA. Some lawmakers say they'd be okay with another short-term funding extension.
We need to keep working toward a solution. And if it's going to take longer than a few days, we need to provide the time necessary to finish the job.
In Washington, I'm Gabrielle Caracciolo.
President Trump is threatening to stop the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge that connects Detroit and Windsor, Ontario. We get more from CBS News Detroit reporter Heath Kalb.
The bridge, which is jointly owned by Canada and the state of Michigan, has been under construction since 2018 and was expected to open sometime this year, with Canada paying for the nearly $6 billion project. But Monday evening, Trump said Canada has treated the U.S., quote, unfairly for decades, and the bridge was being built with no U.S. content, such as steel. Politicians both in Michigan and over the border in Ontario have spoken out against Trump's post.
The Justice Department indicates it will dismiss the criminal conviction of longtime Trump advisor Steve Bannon. Here's CBS's Steve Kathan.
Steve Bannon served 4 months in prison for his 2022 conviction for contempt of Congress. He refused to testify in the January 6th investigation. He was freed in October of 2024. The Justice Department, in a filing to the Supreme Court, asked to send Bannon's case to a lower court, and now in the motion to dismiss the matter, U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro argues it was in the interest of justice to do so. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
It has now been 10 days since the disappearance of the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. Chip Massey is a retired FBI hostage negotiator and CEO of Convincing Company. He had a few things to say about Savannah Guthrie's latest plea to the public for help.
The fact that Savannah now has done this recent video of pleading directly to the American people that if there's anything that anyone has seen, to please report that. That is a big indication that they no longer right now have faith in the abductors doing the right thing for them.
A pilot gave what he thought was his final message to air traffic controllers as he made an emergency landing in Georgia. Here's CBS's Cammie McCormick.
A plane crash in Gainesville, Georgia, produced some frightening moments for the pilot on liveact.net.
Gainesville traffic, this is Bonanza 229, take it, we're not going to make it. Please tell my wife, Molly, I love her, and my parents. I love them so much.
They did make it. The plane crashed on a main road, hitting 3 cars. 2 people were injured, none seriously. I'm Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
A death certificate now reveals the cause of death for actress Catherine O'Hara.
The actress, known for her roles in the Home Alone movies and the TV series Schitt's Creek.
You can't put a price on dignity.
Died of a pulmonary embolism with an underlying cause of rectal cancer. O'Hara died January 30th at a hospital in Santa Monica at the age of 71. At the time, her representative said she died following a brief illness. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Well, new research suggests a morning staple for many of us may lower the risk of dementia. Here's CBS's Karen Hua.
A new study in the journal JAMA looked at data on more than 130,000 adults over 4 decades to see if consuming coffee and tea impacts dementia risk and cognitive function.
What they found was people who had moderate consumption of caffeinated coffee or tea, so 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day, 1 to 2 cups of tea per day, had a lower risk of dementia, but we cannot say based on this study that this is actually protective.
Dr. Celine Gounder is a CBS News medical contributor. The study did not find an association with decaffeinated coffee, something researchers say suggests caffeine may be a factor in the possible benefits.
I think I'll have another cup this morning. 6:22 now. Let's get a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you, and Chris Sullivan is watching things.
Does that include Diet Coke?
Maybe.
But it's the caffeine.
It's the
right?
caffeine,
yeah,
huh?
So maybe.
All right. I'm sure that it's the other chemicals in Diet Coke that are killing me, but maybe not the caffeine, but oh well. The roads right now, not bad. I mean, we have the brake lights away from Linwood on 405, right there at the top, right? It's a split. And then for I-5, right there before 145th, getting into downtown through the forced merge. So we have about a 45-minute trip from Everett into Seattle, about 40 from Everett into Bellevue. A little bit behind schedule, but manageable so far. We'll see how that goes the rest of the morning. Federal Way to Seattle now up over 40 minutes, probably closer to 45. We have some brake lights from 320th up past 272nd before they ease off, and then a pretty good drive until you get up past the West Seattle Bridge. Then you have a little bit more congestion. Renton to Bellevue, we've got 22 minutes there. The S-curves are starting to activate just a little bit. Valley Freeway, we have about 42, 43 now. The volume of 410 westbound is now kind of moving a little closer to Bonnie Lake, but overall it's just volume. People trying to work their way over to the Valley Freeway. Tacoma itself is quiet. Not much action in Nisqually, only 35 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma. And the lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO Newsradio App. Listen to your favorite shows. Get the latest news and updates sent right to your phone.
Our forecast, dense fog advisory in effect for the morning hours, mainly in the south end. We'll see lots of sunshine by afternoon, 52 for today. Tomorrow looks pretty much the same, but more on the way for fog for all of us, warming up to 50. Thursday looks pretty much the same, and then the showers will return on Friday. It's 42 in Seattle right now, and coming up, we'll get you ready for Seahawks Victory Parade Day and also the opening bell report on Seattle's Morning News. It's 6:24.
We're now here for the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. You know, it is frustrating. You work your tail off for 40-plus years, then the government takes 30 or 40% of taxes when they turn right around and they waste it. Americans are getting fed up, and that's why they're taking advantage of tax planning. Tax planning could significantly reduce your taxes, not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. Learn how much you could save in taxes when you retire with free retirement tax savings analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. If you have saved more than $300,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. Don't pay the government one more dime than you need to. Call 206-210-1350. That's 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
G and Ursula, 9 to noon on the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, KIRO News Radio.
We had a chance to talk to Beth Hartman. She was going to go to the game. It was on her bucket list. Tell us about your experience.
There were a lot of Patriots fans in our section, which was fine. And so once we sat there, I said to the guys in front of us, we're going to get super loud, and I have some earplugs. Why would we need earplugs?
Subscribe to the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel and watch live.
It's the Super Smart Top Special at Olympic. Save on a new hot top and get a free Smart Top cover worth $3,700. Super Smart Top Special savings will make you feel, well, super. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
There's no championship league for small business owners. But if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo. Clogged gutters? Not anymore. K-Guard by Guardian keeps leaves out, water flowing, and your home protected year-round. No maintenance, no rust, just lasting peace of mind. Guardian Roofing, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit guardianroofing.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, midday 6:30. 4 people were shot at an apartment building in Auburn yesterday.
KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha has the story.
They found the women shot in this apartment complex. Hours later, Tukwila PD say a man was found with a gunshot wound after he'd gone into South Center Mall. And officers found that man who tried to run from police but was detained. Now, the Phoenix Rising Apartments are part of a program for young adults experiencing homelessness. That's unclear what exactly led up to the shooting. As we mentioned, that's part of the investigation.
That 4th person they found at the mall is believed to be the suspect. Luckily, they are all expected to survive.
Well, the Seahawks are home. The Seattle Super Bowl champs landed at SeaTac Airport yesterday and headed straight to the team facility in Renton. A police SUV with lights flashing led the way for 6 buses full of players and coaches. The fans were ready. The Seattle Times reports about 50 people in Seahawks gear lined up outside the VMAC to greet them. They were waving flags, holding up banners, and cheering as the buses rolled in.
A giant crowd is expected for tomorrow's Super Bowl parade in downtown Seattle.
Last time we won in 2014, we had about 750,000 people. We're expecting the same, if not more, into the city this time.
Seattle Police Captain Mark Garth Green says if you're not going to the parade, you might want to just stay out of downtown Seattle. If you are going, get there early, use mass transit. The trophy presentation set for 10 a.m. at Lumen Field tomorrow. The parade starts after that and will go along 4th Avenue to Seattle Center. 4th Avenue will be closed at 6:30 tomorrow morning. Probably won't reopen until 4 in the afternoon.
Well, parade or no parade, sorry, kids. Some Seattle Public Schools will be open tomorrow. The district says classes will run on their normal early release schedule, even as the city celebrates the Seahawks' big win. Going to the parade, again, will not be an excused absence. Seattle Public Schools also reminding parents to plan for traffic and transit headaches, especially if you're near that parade route.
Now, there are some private schools that are calling it closed tomorrow.
They called it very early yesterday afternoon at my daughter's school, and she is so excited.
All right, Sully, you are going to be keeping an eye on all things traffic for us tomorrow. It's going to be a tough one.
Are you kidding me? I'm out. Gotta get the heck out of Dodge. 6:30. to close 4th
Got
Ave.
a lot of work to do. Got to put up fencing and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, well, good luck catching a bus. If you're going to be pretty much delayed and detoured throughout the entire corridor, if it's going to be closed that early. Wow, that's going to be pretty brutal. Right now on the roads, it is a little brutal for those of you coming down out of Linwood. We've already jumped up to 35 minutes now from Linwood to Seattle or Bellevue. That is a 15-minute delay over what you might expect, but it's also what we've come to expect now a month into the months of hell with the express lanes being out of operation southbound in the morning. Looking at the rest of the map, average. I mean, we do have heavy brake lights from 320th up past 272nd. I've been looking for something there. Haven't found it. We're a little over 40 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. About 45 now up the Valley Freeway. Starting to see a little bit more action in Auburn and at the north end part of that drive. And then Renton to Bellevue is running right about 20 minutes. Lake bridges are still very good, wide open. 18, 16 looking really good. No issues from Olympia to Tacoma. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. For nearly 50 years, 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance. Right now, save up to $2,000 on a new heating and cooling system. Call the Comfort People, homecomfortalliance.com.
We have a dense fog advisory in effect. Most of it is in the south end this morning, but we're all going to see lots of sunshine for the afternoon. Warming up to 52, 38 overnight. Tomorrow, pretty much the same deal for the parade. Thursday looks the same. Some sunshine in the afternoon, and then showers return for Friday. And it looks like Saturday morning, too. Right now, it's partly cloudy and 42 in Seattle.
6:35 now. Investigators were cautious on Wall Street yesterday as they wait for a number of key market indicators this week. Here's CBS News business reporter Jason Brooks.
Stocks rallied ahead of government reports on job growth and consumer inflation in January. Tech stocks stood out with semiconductor firms powering the overall market higher, with big gains for NVIDIA and Oracle, while the Dow took a breather after soaring above 50,000 for the first time. The Dow gained 20 points to 50,135. The Nasdaq jumped 207 points to 23,238. The S&P up 32 points to 69.64. The New York Fed's survey of consumers in January found slightly improved readings regarding holding on to one's job and year-ahead inflation expectations. Jason Brooks, CBS News.
The Trump administration is standing by its commerce secretary amid calls for his resignation.
A growing list of lawmakers, both Democrats and Republicans, want Howard Lutnick out after newly released Justice Department files linked him to Jeffrey Epstein. The documents suggest Lutnick kept ties with Epstein longer than he previously admitted, and they say that's a serious breach of trust. Lutnick maintains the contact he had with the convicted sex offender was limited and insists he did nothing wrong. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
Opening statements kicked off yesterday in New Mexico's lawsuit against Meta. The state alleges Facebook's parent company opens children up to the dangers of sexual exploitation. New Mexico's Justice Department successfully carried out sting operations where agents posed as young girls online, resulting in the arrests of at least 4 people. New Mexico's Attorney General Raul Torres brought the case to trial. Former federal prosecutor Lori Levinson provides some context on the case.
At the beginning of this trial, which is in front of a jury, the court made some evidentiary decisions regarding the case. Some went for Meta, but there are others that are going to make it more difficult for them. For example, Meta had asked the court to ban references to mental health harms and AI and chatbots and the like, but the court didn't do so.
In a separate case, a woman is in court suing Facebook and Instagram parent company Meta Platforms, as well as Alphabet's Google, which owns YouTube. The trial in California is testing whether big tech platforms can be held liable for their app design. A lawyer for the woman, identified as Kaylee GM in court, says they deliberately designed products they knew would addict children. CBS News legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum.
Social media companies never faced a jury before. These are people who use social media too. The judge is not sequestering jurors from social media during the trial, so long as they are not reading about the trial online. The immunity granted internet platforms under Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act won't protect Facebook and Google. That immunity was for third-party content. These new cases are about turning children into social media addicts.
Both companies have denied the allegations.
Saving for retirement doesn't have to be complicated, but it does need to be consistent. I'm Stephen Cates with the Bankrate Personal Finance Minute. When it comes to retirement, the most important step is simply getting started. If your employer offers a retirement plan like a 401k, try to contribute enough to get any matching dollars. That's essentially free money added to your savings. Another smart move is to increase contributions gradually. Each time you get a raise, consider putting part of it toward retirement before lifestyle costs creep up. Automating contributions can also help so that saving happens without relying on willpower. Diversification matters too. Spreading investments across stocks, bonds, and other assets can help balance growth and risk, especially as retirement gets closer. Don't forget to review your plan periodically to make sure it still fits your goals and timeline. The bottom line is start early, save consistently, and adjust as life changes. For more, check out Bankrate. I'm Stephen Cates.
Well, Chipotle's interim CEO Scott Boatwright spoke to investors on an earnings call and told them the company is shifting its focus toward higher income customers.
We learned that 60% of our core users are over $100,000 a year in income, in average household income. That gives us confidence that we can lean into that group in a more meaningful way, whether it's the solo occasion and or group occasions to really drive meaningful transaction performance in the year.
As a result, he says prices will go up about 2%.
You know, Manda, sometimes you just read that with a straight face, and I can see the gears grinding in your brain.
I have so many questions, but I will move along.
We'll just move along. On Wall Street right now, we have stocks in the green with the Dow Jones up 169 points right now. S&P 500 is ahead by 4. NASDAQ down slightly, 36 points.
A word for KIRO 7 News live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. News that's local because where you live matters. No more, no now on KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m.
All right, Chris, what's your hot spot?
Well, it's definitely 405 now, pulling away from Linwood, really filling in down through Bothell. We'll break it down next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
Soak it in, Seattle.
3, 2, 1. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60. They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Congratulations to your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
We got the best team. 12-1. We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other. And now we're world champions.
And this is where the champs play. The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Hi, I'm Jen from Sky Nursery. If you're like me, you're itching to get out in the garden and get your hands in the soil. So check out Sky's full schedule of gardening events to help you get ready for spring. Learn about pruning fruit trees, tips for roses, a 2-day Wonders of Willow festival, hanging basket workshops, and more. Want to grow your own vegetables? I'll be sharing insights from 2 decades of veggie gardening in the Northwest. Anyone can do it. Learn more and get ready for spring at skynursery.com.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you have 2 choices: handle everything yourself or hire an experienced attorney. Go it alone, and you'll be on the phone with insurance adjusters, chasing medical records, fighting for lost wages, and trying to figure out what your case is really worth. Hire the right attorney, and they take all that off your plate so you can focus on getting better. Harold Carr Law Offices has a dedicated team of 48 people and more than 35 years of experience handling car accident cases right here in our community. Harold Carr Law Offices handles big cases and small ones while still treating their clients like family. Here's the difference they make. They save you time, reduce your stress, and get you significantly more money than you'd ever get on your own. Harold Carr Law Offices fights for you at no out-of-pocket cost to you. If you're in a car accident, call them right away. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that experts recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
6:43. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan at the traffic desk.
And 405 southbound is actually much worse than I-5 southbound today. If you normally would take I-5, but you've been worried about the Revive I-5 work, I might just stick with I-5 for the next little bit. Everett to Bellevue is running an hour and 5 minutes. Everett to Seattle is only running 52, so you're almost 15 minutes faster on southbound I-5 at this particular point. Now, that'll probably flip at some point, but right now there are a lot of early adopters to southbound 405. It's bumper to bumper from Linwood all the way down through Bothell before freeing up. So, yeah, that's kind of what I think we've looked at. And the Valley Freeway, about 45 minutes from end to end, 25 to 28 now from Renton to Bellevue. Northbound 405 is definitely filling in past SR 900. Federal Way to Seattle is under 45 minutes. Olympia to Tacoma, we're starting to see a few brake lights through the Nisqually Basin, but we're under 40 all the way to Tacoma. Federal Way to Seattle, I told you about, under 45. And across the lake, we're still doing really well. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, fog in spots this morning. For the most part, it's going to stay in the south, and otherwise lots of sunshine by afternoon. Warming up to 52, overnight lows in the mid to upper 30s. Tomorrow, again, fog in the morning, but it's going to be a dry day for the parade. Some sunshine in the afternoon and 50. Thursday looks pretty much the same, and then we'll start to see some showers again on Friday. It's 42 in Seattle right now.
Okay, Chris, what's coming up in your choke point?
Well, we've got a mayor in a tourist town that really needs some help, and she's blaming the governor for having his attention elsewhere.
That's coming up.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
that's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchie's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchie's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchie.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Ever wonder how much energy it takes to power your life? Streaming shows, running appliances, even using AI to plan your next trip?
A lot, and it's growing fast.
So we need more energy, and it has to be clean and reliable.
Exactly. That's why Energy Northwest is exploring new ways to keep power flowing sustainably to meet the rising demand.
All this new technology is exciting, but we need the energy to keep up.
And Energy Northwest is making it happen.
Where do I learn more?
Energy-Northwest.com.
Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
It's 6:48 now. Well, the state won't declare what's happening to the town of Wilkeson an emergency, so lawmakers are now asking the federal government for help.
Sully, you are here with an update.
And Wilkeson is dying on the vine. This is a small town just northwest of Mount Rainier, has lost almost all of its economic engine, tourism, since the Fairfax Bridge was closed last year. The bridge wasn't closed because a truck damaged it or a natural disaster happened. It was closed after decades of intentional neglect by state lawmakers. They refused to spend money to keep the bridge in good shape, despite reports it was getting worse and worse. The bridge doesn't qualify as an emergency to give businesses access to loans to stay afloat, and WashDOT says it will take at least 6 years to replace it. State Senator Phil Fortunato now wants to ask the federal government for help, not for funding, but to cut red tape.
We're asking the federal government to speed this stuff along by waiving certain things or moving the NEPA requirements to almost the end of the project, et cetera.
NEPA is basically what the federal environmental rules are that go around something like that, especially in something in such a pristine area as the Carbon Canyon like that. So this joint memorial has been introduced. It has bipartisan support. Wilkeson Mayor Jamie Pololi says she's tired of waiting.
Our state leaders have made it clear that they do not plan to elevate this crisis to the level of urgency that it deserves. Federal involvement is necessary because this crisis has outgrown the pathways currently available that are at the state level.
And Mayor Pololi says Governor Ferguson is too busy focusing on President Trump and what he's up to, and not emergencies in his own backyard.
When statewide leaders focus public communication on national public conflict and political conflict, while communities within their own state are navigating infrastructure failure and emergency access, it leaves residents questioning whether their crisis is being seen or prioritized. The silence is not just symbolic, it has real consequences.
Mayor Pololi asked the governor how much her community has to suffer before anything is done.
How much emergency access must be compromised before leadership steps in and chooses to act? And ultimately, what number of constituents is enough to make this a large enough emergency that the governor feels a responsibility to step in and help find a solution?
WashDOT has only two plans going forward. The first is to replace the bridge for at least $160 million. The second is to tear the old bridge down and not replace it. Complicating matters, the bridge is on the National Registry of Historic Places. There is red tape around that, which could impact what happens and how long it takes. Part of the joint memorial would ask to remove the bridge from that list and declare the closure an emergency. Now, it's been heard in both chambers, in Olympia, in both transportation committees, and so I'm anticipating that it might get out, but we'll have to wait and see. They're still in the process of that. The closure of the 105-year-old bridge has not only devastated the communities around it, but it's also cut off some of the best hiking and camping areas in Mount Rainier National Park, and for some reason, this doesn't qualify as an emergency.
So I'm hearing at least three different things going on here at the same time. First of all, governor not declaring it an emergency. Second of all, you have those years and years, as you've often talked about, those years and years of willful neglect by the state DOT because they don't have the money to do maintenance.
Well, because they chose not to give the DOT money for maintenance. The lawmakers hold the purse strings, and they've decided to go with other priorities. So that's why the bridge is in this situation, but that's also why it doesn't qualify as an emergency. Because
self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted because a truck didn't take it out, a landslide didn't take it down. If it had, they'd be in much better shape, and so now they're just trying for anything because the state says, declaring an emergency now doesn't do anything, and the people there can't get any loans for their businesses.
Yeah, how the heck are businesses surviving?
They're not. Basically, they've got their own area there, and that's it. But no one's going through for tourism anymore, and they haven't since last April when the bridge was shut down. So, they're kind of stuck. So, going to the feds, will that, maybe speed things along? But those folks need some help financially for something that's not their fault. I'm not sure why this doesn't qualify as an emergency or why they won't treat it as such. But according to the DOT, it doesn't qualify. And those folks are left there kind of holding the bag.
Gets down to all this bureaucracy and red tape as well.
Yeah, and again, potentially, as the mayor now says, the person in charge of our state spending his time fighting fights elsewhere and not paying attention to what's happening in his own state.
Okay, well, we have this all written up on mynorthwest.com. Thank you, Sully. 6:52 now.
A new study suggests we can train our brains like we train muscles.
Researchers with Johns Hopkins Medicine had adults 65 and older do around an hour of cognitive training multiple times over 5 to 6 weeks. The people who did the regular cognitive training had lower rates of dementia and Alzheimer's disease than people who didn't. The benefits from the training even lasted as long as 20 years later.
CBS correspondent Michael George.
6:53 now. We check traffic on the threes and right back to Chris Sullivan.
And we are definitely seeing a heavy drive for those of you coming out of the north end, but 405 is actually worse than I-5 today, if you can believe it. So if you normally take I-5 to get into downtown, but you're worried about those huge backups, it's actually about 15 minutes faster on I-5 than it is 405. We're running about 50 minutes from Linwood into Bellevue and about 35 from Linwood into Seattle. So that kind of tells you the disparity. And so it's kind of a weird day. Right now, the backup for I-5 really is from between 145th and right there at Northgate. It really doesn't extend too much farther. So kind of an anomaly today. Looking at Federal Way to Seattle of about 45 minutes. 45 as well is what you need from Puyallup up to Renton. Renton to Bellevue, the S-curves have started to activate a little bit. We have about a half an hour trip for you guys. Lake bridges are still in fine shape. Olympia to Tacoma has no problems. And for those of you on eastbound 16, it looks like we might have a crash just off the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Just saw that go all red on the map, so I'm going to check into that, and I'll have more for you on that one in 10 minutes. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, fog in spots this morning, especially in the south end today. 52 the high, lots of sunshine for the afternoon. 38 for the overnight low. Tomorrow looks great, too. We'll see more fog for all of us, but sunny by afternoon, and 50 Thursday. Some sunshine in the afternoon, again 51, and Friday, it looks like here come the showers again. Right now in Seattle, it's partly cloudy and 40.
All right, we're already hearing on the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line. Tall Jeeper says that mayor is right on.
Yeah.
You can always send us a text at 888-973-5476 or leave a comment on mynorthwest.com.
That's the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. And coming up in the next hour, New York Times reporter David Farenthold joins us to unpack the biggest political stories of the week and what they reveal about power, influence, and accountability in Washington, D.C.
You are listening to Seattle's Morning News. Keep it right here. Coming up next is CBS with world and national headlines on KIRO Newsradio.
It's why we bake in the sun out on the berm every summer at training camp. It's why we scream till it hurts. Come fall and winter.
Listen to the 12th man.
It's why we're 12s.
And the party begins. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
Soak it in.
They lived up to the dark side today. It's going to go down in the history books.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Olympic Hot Tub Super Smart Top Special is here. Hey, it's Ryan Roland Smith. This is your chance to save now on your new hot tub and get a free Smart Top worth $3,700. Take it from me because I have one. Smart Top is the ultimate cover for your tub. Strong, long-lasting, and ready to defend your tub against northwest weather. Super Smart Top special savings will make you feel, well, super. Details at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
If you've been sitting in traffic long enough to finish a podcast and question your life choices, it's time to flip your trip. Ride transit. Find a park and ride or roll past stress on a bike or scooter. Free yourself from traffic jams at flipyourtrip.org.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. It's been 10 days now since 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped from her home in Tucson, and experts believe the family's tone is changing. Retired FBI hostage negotiator Chip Massey.
The fact that Savannah now has done this recent video of pleading directly to the American people that if there's anything that anyone has seen, to please report that. That is a big indication that they no longer right now have faith in the abductors doing the right thing for them.
Yesterday, a second deadline and an apparent ransom letter passed without any new developments. New storms are targeting people in the east and west. CBS meteorologist Rob Marciano.
We've got advisories that are up for the northern suburbs of New York City, all the way up through upstate New York. The flakes are flying from Buffalo to Rochester, soon Ithaca. This is actually a bit of a warm front. You'll get some snows later on this evening across parts of Boston. Then when the kind of cool front comes through, we'll mix in a little bit of frozen precipitation across the I-95 corridor.
A Pacific storm is on the move from the Great Lakes to New England. Opening statements have begun in a landmark trial against Meta and Google in the first jury trial involving the social media biggies. Correspondent Jolene Kent is in L.A.
In Los Angeles Superior Court, plaintiffs are alleging that Instagram and YouTube are intentionally designed to be addictive and harmful, claiming infinite scrolling and that suggested content algorithm have contributed to teens' alleged addiction and decline in mental health.
3 leading social media companies have agreed to be rated on teen safety. Correspondent Michael Wallace has details on that.
TikTok, Snapchat, and Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, will voluntarily undergo a series of tests by a coalition of advocacy groups. The platforms will be graded on whether they give teens options to turn off endless scrolling or force them to take breaks. Companies that get high safety ratings will receive a Blue Shield badge. Those that don't do well in the test will be labeled as unable to block harmful content. The National Council for Suicide Prevention oversaw the development of the standards. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson is opening up about what it's like to serve on the Supreme Court. She tells CBS Mornings,
"We are very collegial as a body and as a group, and we get along well as justices together. And I think it's sort of a model for learning how to disagree without being disagreeable."
She's out with a new edition of her Grammy-nominated memoir, Lovely One, just for young adults. The Dow is up 227 points in early trading. This is CBS News.
Take control of your financial life. Follow and listen to Money Watch with Jill Schlesinger on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
And at 7:03, we go over to Chris Sullivan for traffic on the threes.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird day for those of you out of Snohomish County. There are a lot fewer of you on I-5 today. And so, in fact, the impact of losing the express lanes there on I-5 is not as bad as it is on 405. 405 is running an hour and 15 minutes. I-5 is only running about 55 minutes. So it's 15 minutes faster on southbound I-5. I know it's hard to trust what you've been driving through the last month, but you hit the brakes right at 145th and they extend to about 50th. For 405, though, it's bumper to bumper the whole way from Linwood down through Bothell, extending down to about 160th. So I'm expecting that to fill back in, but right now 405 is a slower trip. Looks like we have a crash in the center lane of eastbound 16, just at the east end of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, right after Jackson Street. So that's why we're slow in that general area. Rest of Pierce County is relatively okay. Some brake lights here and there. Federal Way to Seattle, about 50 minutes. 45, Puyallup up to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's at 25. The lake bridges are good. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. It's home show season. Lake Washington Windows and Doors giving you 20% off. Plus 12 months, same as cash financing. Visit them at the home shows or at LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:04. 4 people were shot yesterday at a youth homeless housing facility in Auburn.
KIRO 7 reports 3 women were rushed to Harborview. At least one of them had to be airlifted. She's now in critical condition. Independent journalist Photog Steve says this happened at a supportive housing complex for young adults transitioning out of homelessness.
There are 3 females who were all shot. They believe are somewhere in their 20s. All are now at Harborview. So far, there's been no fatal. Casualty does not mean fatality.
A 4th person, a man, showed up at South Center Mall in Tukwila with a gunshot wound to his arm. Police say they are still trying to figure out what led to the shooting.
7:05 now. Seattle police expect at least 750,000 fans, maybe 1 million, at tomorrow's Seahawks victory parade. Captain Mark Garth Green urges attendees to use mass transit and...
Please, if you're coming down, do not bring your firearm and leave it safely in your vehicle. Leave it safely at home.
Says a lot of guns were stolen from cars during the last Super Bowl victory parade in 2014. Now, the parade will start at Lumen Field after the trophy presentation tomorrow. That ceremony starts at 10 a.m. The parade will go from Lumen Field to Seattle Center along 4th Avenue.
Every major transit agency in the region is gearing up to help you get to the parade. Sound Transit will run Link Light Rail trains every 6 minutes, starting at 5 in the morning, all the way from Linwood to Federal Way. Extra Sounder trains are being added from Tacoma and Everett.
And KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin checks in with the King County Sheriff's Office about security preps for the parade.
Deputies say there will be plenty of law enforcement flooding downtown to keep people safe on Wednesday.
We have a plan in place right now. We want to be prepared for everything.
The Seahawks are already encouraging people to take public transit since parking will be difficult.
Be patient, be smart, don't drink and drive.
If you do plan on being one of the hundreds of thousands of people expected to attend the parade, officers say they want you to report anything suspicious if you see it.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO Newsradio.
Man, I haven't heard this one in a long time.
Yeah.
Love it.
Feeling good. Thank you, Nick. Always love that. Well, this is Seattle's Morning News on a Tuesday. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Chris Sullivan is here on traffic every 10 minutes. Jonah Oakleaf is in for producer David Burbank today.
And, of course, Jillian Raftery out at the news desk following the biggest stories of the day. Well, busy hour of the show ahead. We have New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold talking about some of the stories he's watching in Washington, D.C.
And what's coming up in the 7:35 commentary.
Talking about grocery costs and how they are squeezing households and how some proposals in Olympia may be sending those costs even higher.
It's 7:07. The proposed 10% tax on Washington's millionaires has made it past its first committee, as we hear from KIRO Newsradio's Frank Lindsay.
Before Monday's vote, Democrat Yasmin Trudeau said this proposal is about leveling the playing field between the wealthy and those who are struggling to put food on the table.
We've had a lot of benefit to the top, which is why we've attracted so many wealthy folks, some of which have been quite open about coming here to shield that wealth.
Republican Perry Dozier said there's nothing in the bill that makes Washington more affordable.
Other than if you want to go to bed at night and say, hey, that millionaire, he's going to pay more. But I don't have money to buy food tomorrow.
The Senate Ways and Means Committee passed the bill, and now it goes to the Rules Committee. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
During the hearing, anti-tax activist Tim Eyman stood up in what he called a peaceful protest. Ways and Means Committee Chair June Robinson had him escorted out, and Eyman responded,
silencing dissent. That's what you're doing.
Bill would impose a nearly 10% tax on people who make more than $1 million a year.
Well, because no more new pennies will be made in this country, there's a proposal in Olympia to have cash transactions rounded up or down to the nearest nickel here in Washington. Amber Carter with the Washington Retail Association is in favor.
The country is short on pennies, and I know some of you may think that the federal government is done making sense.
The Senate Business Committee passed the bill last week.
Did she make a pun?
She did.
Okay.
I think she did.
Okay. Another big tech name moving to Bellevue. City permit filings show Elon Musk's AI company, XAI, has leased a full floor at Lincoln Square South. Space is about 25,000 square feet in the heart of downtown. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, it was previously home to Epic Games, a company behind Fortnite, which relocated to Key Center nearby. Bellevue has quickly become a hub for artificial intelligence companies.
It could be the end of Eddie Bauer. The company has confirmed to the Seattle Times that it is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy for the third time. The outdoor clothing retailer's laying off all 60 corporate employees based in Seattle. The stores will liquidate stock before closing if no one buys the brand. Representatives for Catalyst Brands, the parent company that now owns Eddie Bauer, says the business struggled for many years, but the final blow is a combination of factors like supply chain issues and tariffs combined with declining sales.
A Lake Stevens man who helped bring He-Man to life is now fighting a different battle. Roger Sweet was a designer at Mattel for more than 17 years and played a key role in creating the Masters of the Universe franchise. Now he's 90 and living in a memory care facility his family can't afford. The cost, more than $10,000 a month. His wife Marlene says Medicare won't cover it, and Roger won't see anything from the new He-Man movie coming out this summer. According to the Everett Herald, she has launched a GoFundMe to help pay for his care.
The Humane Society for Tacoma and Pierce County is spreading some Valentine's Day love. Adoption fees are up to just $14 starting this Thursday through Valentine's Day. There are nearly 100 dogs, cats, and rabbits waiting for their forever homes. The shelter is located on Center Street in Tacoma. Fox 13 reports if you can't adopt right now, the organizers say they are in need of new or gently used towels.
A once-in-a-generation exhibit headed to Seattle. Mohi will host the Freedom Plane National Tour this summer, featuring original founding-era documents from the National Archives. The exhibit marks America's 250th anniversary. Seattle is the final stop on a tour hitting just 8 cities nationwide. You'll be able to see an original engraving of the Declaration of Independence, the Treaty of Paris that ended the Revolutionary War, and oaths of allegiance signed by George Washington and Alexander Hamilton. The exhibit runs July 30th through August 16th, and admission is free.
A Western Washington University alum delivered Team USA's first gold medal of the Olympic Winter Games. 30-year-old Breezy Johnson captured gold in women's downhill, edging the silver medalist by just 0.04 of a second. Johnson fought back tears on the podium as the anthem played. Her next event is the Super G this Thursday morning, and as she was celebrating with that beautiful gold medal around her neck, the ribbon broke, and so did the medal. they've had some issues with the metals so far.
It has been problematic with those metals. Yeah. You know who's solid? Solid like a rock?
Who?
KIRO 7 TV pinpoint meteorologist Nick Allard, who's keeping an eye on conditions today and for the parade tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what? It is looking pretty good. I mean, we just have some areas of fog this morning in the south sound. A little bit might develop briefly here in the central sound as well, but otherwise it's just going to be sunny and a beautiful day today. Fog will lift, and it looks great with highs getting to the low 50s. Tomorrow, you are going to have widespread fog and chilly weather to start, and then I expect you'll see some increasing sunshine. And I think by, 11 to 12, you'll start to really work through that fog. So it does look really nice. All in all, a beautiful day, gorgeous weather, but it's just one of those setups where you're going to have some fog to start, and then you are going to see sunshine for the parade. And then the rest of your day looks gorgeous. We'll see more clouds for Thursday and then showers for the Friday and Saturday time period with temps in the 40s, even a little Sunday and Monday. I mean, by the time we hit Friday, it's going to feel a whole lot different. Back into the 40s, some showers in the lowlands, some snow in the mountains. But right now, it's just some clouds early on, some fog tomorrow morning, and then sunshine. It does look really nice. Just don't be shocked if you're down there at 10 for the trophy and it's still cloudy. But then by 11 to 12, it will clear out and you will see some sun.
All right. Thank you, Nick. It's 42 downtown.
At 7:13, time to check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. What do you have for us, Sully?
Well, we've almost reached equilibrium now for those of you on I-5 or 405 coming away from Linwood. 405 still a little heavier than I-5 by about 5 minutes, but I think people are starting to realize that these days it's 50-50, depending on what you're doing. And if you don't want to take a lake bridge over, you're probably fine staying with I-5. That's kind of what our reality is now a month into this. For 405, the brake lights begin right there in Linwood, go all the way down through 522. It's about an hour from Linwood to Bellevue. About 55 minutes from Linwood down into Seattle. Brake lights are solid from 145th now down to about 45th in the U District, but thin out as you go across the Ship Canal Bridge. Lake bridges are in fine shape. Federal Way to Seattle's running under 50 minutes, which is great. We're under 50 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is getting closer to a half an hour, though. Olympia to Tacoma, nice and easy at 35 minutes. Looks like we've cleared the crash from the center lane on eastbound 16 as you get away from the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Right there around just after Jackson, before you get off there at Pearl. So plan on just a little bit of delay, but most of it's gone away. Lake bridges that I mentioned are great. Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-AWAY bring us this traffic report, serving the public Pacific Northwest, that is, for over 30 years. Hundreds of 5-star reviews. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
During testimony yesterday, Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell repeatedly pleaded to the fifth in video testimony to Congress.
New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold joins us this morning. David, good morning. This was not unexpected yesterday.
No, I was a little surprised by the second part of it, which is that she said, but I will testify and I will guarantee I will clear Donald Trump's name as long as he gets me out of jail. As long as he gives me some clemency, I'll come testify and I'll tell you everything you want to know, and especially tell you that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. To me, it seemed like a pretty blatant plea for clemency. It'll be interesting to see if Trump goes along with that. I don't see how anyone could really believe her if she would say that in return for getting out of jail.
This does come as members of Congress have seen the unredacted Epstein files, at least some of them. What are we finding out about that?
Well, that's something I've been trying to follow. I think that it's going to be a really interesting view into what was redacted, because there has been some speculation that, it was Donald Trump's name or there's something else embarrassing that was in their Epstein files that was left redacted. We're still waiting to hear the full details from those reviews.
Do you expect this is going to be a long, drawn-out thing with Ghislaine Maxwell?
I do, just because I can't see Trump falling for this. I can't see Trump giving her clemency and sort of implicating himself in a dirty deal related to Epstein. I think what he wants now with Epstein is to stay the heck away from it. And if what she does is plead the fifth and not say any more and stays in jail, I think that's fine for him without him having to sort of own, freeing the one person who's been held accountable for this horrible string of crimes.
And there is some reporting this week that Donald Trump evidently made some sort of call to Palm Beach police in the early 2000s. Are you hearing anything about that from your viewpoint?
Well, it's an interesting report. I mean, we know that he and Epstein were close then. We know that Trump is very close to the Palm Beach Police. He hosts at Mar-a-Lago, the Palm Beach Police Foundation's annual gala. The Palm Beach Police also are not, all they do is really take care of rich people. So they're an agency that's I think, very susceptible to that kind of power play. We don't know exactly what was said, and we don't know what role Trump played, but that's a really interesting question, an open question, if he played some sort of role in helping Epstein that way.
David, I want to ask you about your recent piece in The Times that begs the question, at what point does offering donors access to a sitting president, especially through tax-deductible gifts, cross from traditional fundraising into pay-to-play politics? What prompted this?
So we've been writing a lot about the celebrations of America's 250th birthday, which is this year. And this originally had been planned to be kind of a bipartisan, celebration of American spirit and volunteerism and things like that. Trump has basically bypassed the bipartisan commission that was running that previous effort and is now setting up his own thing called Freedom 250. And it's going to celebrate him, basically, and things that he likes. There's a UFC fight planned on the White House grounds. There's an IndyCar race in D.C. He wants to build a triumphal arch here in Washington. And he wants to have a bunch of events that celebrate sort of Christian events, specifically celebrating parts of his base. And so what we found is that he's trying to raise money for that. And so he's one of the things they've offered people is if you pay $2.5 million toward this, you can speak on July 4th and you get an audience with the president. Now, obviously, as you talked about, lots of presidents fundraise, lots of presidents talk to donors who give them money. So it's not new that people would be there would be access to the president offered for sale. What's interesting is, though, it's happening in the president's second term. He can't run for re-election, so he's not raising money for re-election. Instead, he seems to be setting up all these other projects that sort of glamorize himself and give him some legacy. And, so the selling of access to the president continues now far into the second term.
And David, at any point in your article, does the word semi-quincentennial appear?
It does. It does. I don't think we're going to be able to popularize that term, semi-quincentennial. It means 250th. That is the official name, the U.S. Semi-Quincentennial Commission. I think that was a mistake.
It's half a 500-year period. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. I'm just being honest there. All right. New York Times investigative reporter David Fahrenthold joining us this morning. Really appreciate your time, and go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Thanks, sir.
7:19 now on Seattle's Morning News.
Planning is underway for a new mission to boost NATO's presence in the Arctic. This follows President Trump's demand to take over Greenland, claiming NATO allies don't do enough to guard against threats from Russia and China. Here's reporter Holly Williams.
In Europe's high north, America's NATO allies are practicing hunting for Russian submarines. Norway, Germany, France and others in a military exercise called Arctic Dolphin. President Trump has criticized Spain for lagging behind with its military spending. But this Spanish warship is over 1,500 miles from home, a NATO partner training to help defend the US. This stretch of water connects the Arctic and the Russian Navy's northern fleet with the Atlantic Ocean. If Russia ever targeted the United States with its nuclear-armed submarines, this is where NATO would try to stop them.
It needs to be synchronized.
Commodore Sture Haugen is the commander of the Norwegian fleet. He agrees with President Trump that Russia could compromise Arctic security.
If those submarines are getting into the Atlantic, they are posing a threat both to Europe but also to the American homeland.
The shortest route for Russia to attack the US with ballistic missiles would be across the Arctic Circle. And Russia's already using the region to test hypersonic missiles designed to evade US air defenses.
We're going to be doing something with Greenland, either the nice way or the more difficult way.
But President Trump has angered America's NATO partners by repeatedly insisting that the US needs to take over Greenland, and by threatening last month to impose tariffs on NATO allies if they don't comply. Trump has now backed down on the tariffs, but some here in Europe say the episodes eroded trust in the US at a time when cooperation is crucial.
Main concept of NATO is that we are much stronger together.
It sounds like you're saying if you want to defend against the threat posed by Russia, it's better to have alliances.
It is, definitely.
Commodore Haugen told us despite all the political noise around President Trump, Greenland and NATO, the military relationship between the US and Norway is as strong as it's always been.
There are new concerns about GLP-1 weight loss drugs and a disease dating back to 17th century pirates. Here's CBS's Deborah Rodriguez.
Scientists in Australia say many patients taking Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro aren't paying enough attention to not just what they consume, but what they don't. They say many are skipping healthy foods, becoming functionally malnourished, and developing vitamin deficiencies like scurvy. British pop singer Robbie Williams went public with his diagnosis after opening up about his years-long use of weight loss injectables. Researchers are urging doctors to keep a closer eye on their patients' diets. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Now, pirates experiencing scurvy symptoms are encouraged to go to the YAR. The study was conducted at the Newcastle School of Health Sciences in Australia.
I'm just not even going to.
I was going to go there, but that was bad. I didn't have scurvy on my bingo card.
Right?
When's rickets
When's the
coming
last time
back?
we talked about scurvy?
Wow.
That's crazy. All right, it's 7:23.
Wow.
Let's move along and talk traffic. We do that every 10 minutes, Sully.
Gonna tie that to Kubiak. He is now working for the Pirates.
Somehow.
Yeah, the Raiders. Okay.
But go to the YAR.
As in ER?
Yeah.
YAR.
Gotcha. Okay.
Ahoy, Sully.
We're moving along now, Sully.
I can't. I fell off the plank. I got to get back on the ship. Okay. Out of the north end, we're looking at kind of an equal drive out of Linwood. About an hour for both Linwood to Seattle, Linwood to Bellevue. We've added a few more customers now on I-5. The brake lights begin about 175th now, so it's about 50-50 on which one you go down coming away from Linwood. About an hour and 15 all the way from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. So about average for what we've gotten used to the last month or so. Northbound I-5 definitely filling in past Boeing Field into downtown. Add a little bit there in Federal Way. And we're getting closer to an hour from Federal Way to Seattle. Definitely over 50 minutes now from Puyallup to Renton. A lot more action in Auburn and from 180th on into Renton. And then Renton to Bellevue's running about a half an hour. We do have a heavy brake lights now on westbound I-90 getting out of Issaquah. Waiting to see if that might be a crash or just the byproduct of construction. Either way, there are a couple of more minutes there lost out of Front Street. Also looking at heavy brake lights on eastbound 18 over the top of Tiger Mountain. Lake Bridges, though, are in good shape. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube, click subscribe, and get fresh video content daily.
Forecast.
Move along with the forecast, Charlie.
Will be nice and sunny today after morning fog. We're heading for a high in the low 50s. Tomorrow, kind of widespread fog. We're told it should burn off by Seahawks parade time. Headed for a high of 50. 42 right now in Seattle.
Much more on the parade coming up. And also, what's coming up in your commentary?
Grocery costs already squeezing households. Lawmakers, maybe a suggestion here, stop stacking on new taxes and regulations that drive prices even higher. We'll talk about it at 7:35.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
Soak it in, Seattle.
3, 2, 1. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60. They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Congratulations to your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
We got the best team. 12 is 1. We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other. And now we're world champions.
And this is where the champs play. The home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio.
Hey guys, it's Sully. And for over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, guaranteed repairs. Dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets a detailed Carfax update, timely service reminders, full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
If you're a Washington landlord, you've likely noticed things are changing. New rental laws, more rules, higher costs, and a lot less flexibility than before. John Curley here. Most landlords I talk to know some of their numbers like rent, mortgage, maybe the property value. But the numbers that really matter, taxes, vacancies, repairs, your time, and what it actually costs to exit someday. Those are often overlooked. And if you sell without a tax plan, the tax hit can be a nasty surprise. That's why Madrona Financial and CPAs are hosting 2 free in-person workshops for landlords who want clarity. They'll show you how to evaluate the true performance of your rental, whether selling makes sense, and how to do it tax efficiently. No politics, no pressure, just real math and real explanations. It's live, in person, not a webinar. Tuesday the 17th at 3 p.m. at UW-Tacoma and Wednesday the 18th at 3 p.m. at Bellevue College. Seats are limited. To reserve your spot, call 833-673-7373 or visit MadronaFinancial.com.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium heat pump and air cleaning package at CM Heating. Start today with an always free estimate. There's no beating CM Heating for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Go to cmheating.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 7:31. Well, the call came out to police as a mass casualty incident.
Multiple people shot at an apartment building in Auburn. This happened yesterday afternoon. Here's police spokesman Colby Crossy.
So definitely getting the call that it was 3 victims was alarming.
As we hear from KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha, a fourth person was found miles away with a gunshot wound to his arm.
Auburn and Tukwila police say that he walked into a store with a gunshot wound and tried to run from police, but was caught. Auburn police say he is connected. And when police first got to the scene here, they found 3 women had been shot at this complex. Now, the Phoenix Rising, as you mentioned, part of a program for young adults experiencing homelessness as transitional housing.
Police still working to figure out what led up to the shooting. We'll bring you more information as we get it.
Well, your Super Bowl champions are back in Seattle. The Seahawks touched down at SeaTac yesterday afternoon after beating the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60. 6 buses carried the players and coaches from the airport to the VMAC. A police escort led the way, lights flashing. According to the Seattle Times, about 50 fans in green and blue were waiting outside the VMAC when they arrived. They screamed, waved 12 flags, and gave the champs their first taste of a Seattle welcome home.
All right, tomorrow, at least 750,000 people expected to turn out for the big victory parade for the Seahawks. Captain Mark Garth Green of the Seattle Police Department has some advice for people considering heading into the city tomorrow.
If they're not coming for the parade, they may want to avoid Seattle on Wednesday. If they're coming for the parade, come early.
Little timeline here. At 10 a.m. at Lumen Field itself, the Hawks get their Lombardi Trophy. After that, the parade gets underway with a 2-mile route from 4th and Washington to 4th and Cedar at the Seattle Center. 4th Avenue will be shut down at 6:30 tomorrow morning and probably won't reopen until 4 p.m.
Are you thinking about pulling the kids out of school for the parade?
Yes.
Seattle Public Schools, they say classes will go on as scheduled tomorrow, even with the big celebration. The district's chief operations officer says it's a great moment for the city, but attending the parade will not be an excused absence. If you're anywhere near the parade route, the district is warning families to expect lots of traffic and transit delays.
Oh, the Harger kids are going to be
Have you heard from Auburn
scofflaws. Yeah. My daughter is planning on going with some of her friends. She's going to hop on light rail.
Excused absence? For Auburn?
I don't know about that, Amanda. And then young Sam, we're going to have Sam in the studio with us tomorrow because...
Are we really?
Yeah, we're going to have a guest, a middle school guest.
That's
who's
awesome.
Very excited about going to this parade.
How excited is he to get up at 2:30 in the morning?
We haven't told him that part yet. It's 7:33. Let's head over to Sully for traffic.
And I was also thinking, what would be my game plan to do this? And my thought would be, I would want to be as close to Lumen Field as possible for the parade, because that's when the players will be the most sober, and they might be able to see. And then you'd be able to get out of Dodge as everyone, because as it goes further north, you need to be peeling away and getting away then. So I'd probably try to get into Pioneer Square, somewhere down in that general vicinity, hit the front end, and then get the heck out. Would probably be my plan. But
got a lot of planning between now and tomorrow, Sully.
Yeah. Staying home would also be an option for some of us. Looking at the drive now away from Linwood, we've settled into about an hour trip from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue, just the average stuff for you guys there. A little bit of braking, trying to get to the Trestle as well. Southbound 9, a little slow through Snohomish, but nothing out of the ordinary. 522s, it's normal. Heavy south getting over to 405. Still looking at eastbound 90 being very heavy getting into and through the construction zone there at Front Street in Issaquah. The crash we had a little further to the west is out of the way. Renton to the Bellevue area, about a 30-minute trip for you. 50 from Puyallup to Renton. Valley Freeway, I just gave you Federal Way to Seattle's running right around an hour. Lake bridges are fine. Olympia to Tacoma, no problem. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Foggy this morning, mainly in the south end. We're going to see lots of sunshine for the afternoon, though. A very pleasant day. 52 today. Overnight lows, mid and upper 30s. Tomorrow for the parade looks terrific. Again, fog early on, but it should lift by parade time. Some sunshine in the afternoon and 50. Thursday looks pretty much the same. And then here come the showers again on Friday and Saturday as well, with highs only in the upper 40s. Right now, it is partly cloudy and 40 in Seattle.
Hear it live. Stream it online. Watch the show or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Time for the 7:35 commentary. Grocery prices are getting ridiculous, and you don't need a chart to tell you that. You just need to stand at the checkout line and watch the total climb while you're thinking, wait, how did we spend $200? We didn't even buy steak. And groceries hit different than other inflation. You can put off a new TV. You can wait on a vacation. You can skip Amazon for a month, but you can't skip dinner. Everyone needs to eat. That's why a letter I got last week from the Northwest Grocery Retail Association caught my attention. Their message to Olympia is simple. Please stop piling on new costs. They say the legislature is considering a whole bunch of bills that would increase the cost of operating grocery stores in Washington. A bottle deposit system, a moratorium on electronic shelf labels, packaging mandates, more producer responsibility programs, publicly owned grocery stores, more fees and penalties around store closures and vacancies, a statewide tax on sugary beverages, even possible excise tax increases on items that are already sitting on grocery store shelves, a statewide payroll tax, expanding local B&O taxes, and the list goes on. Now, take any one of these ideas by itself, and I can see why someone might like it. Some of them might even be good policy, and I'm not here to say every proposal is terrible. I am saying, though, the pile of bills is getting tall. Because grocery stores don't work like Boeing or Microsoft. They operate on razor-thin margins. When their costs go up, they don't have room to absorb it. They've got two options: raise prices or stop offering the service. And the letter from the association puts a number on it. They say one grocery retailer is looking at up to $39 million in new state and local taxes in 2026. $39 million. Where do we think that money comes from? It doesn't come from magic corporate vaults. It comes from your wallet, from the family buying cereal, diapers, and chicken thighs, trying to stretch it to payday. We keep saying we care about affordability. Olympia is full of speeches about helping working people. But if you make it expensive to operate a grocery store, groceries are going to get more expensive. This is where I try to be fair. Some of these bills are aimed at real problems. Environmental waste is real. Healthcare costs are real. Worker protections are real. I'm not dismissing any of that, but we don't get to pretend there are no trade-offs. You can't pile on mandates, taxes, compliance costs, and act surprised when the price of food goes up again. You can't say you're fighting for working families while quietly making the most basic necessity of life, food, more expensive. The Grocery Association is asking lawmakers to pause, not to stop caring about the environment or workers, just to look at the cumulative impact of all these bills together. If lawmakers want to help working families, here's a simple test for every new proposal. Before you vote on it, ask yourself, what does this do to the price of groceries? Because people are already doing that math at home, and a lot of them are coming up short. And that's the 735 commentary for Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. You can always text your thoughts to the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line at 888-973-5476 or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at, you know what I'm going to talk about.
Something about coming in from the
drive
north
out,
end.
driving in from Linwood, and we'll break it down next.
All right, it's 7:39.
Word here for the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. Let me ask you something. After decades of working, saving, doing everything right, how much of your retirement will really go to taxes? More than you think if you're not careful. Do you really want to pay 30, maybe 40% of what you've saved? If you're thinking there's got to be a better way, I'm here to tell you there is. But it takes planning. The secret strategies that wealthy families use to reduce their tax burden, well, they're not secrets. And if you have saved more than $300,000, those strategies could work for you, too. The team at Boss Retirement Solution right here in Seattle is offering a free retirement tax savings analysis. No obligation, just a clear look at how much you could keep. Give the Boss team a call, 206-210-1350. That's 206-210-1350. Boss Retirement Solutions, 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
This is what it's all about, right?
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The pure joy.
To beat the Patriots, especially in the 49ers stadium, it means everything.
It's a great time to be alive for Seattle fans.
It's why we're 12s.
Just like Mike McDonald said, we did not care.
We got a parade to get to.
Seattle will hold a victory parade Wednesday.
We are the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO Newsradio.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. You know, an honest person might make a mistake on their tax return, and it's through no fault of their own, just because they don't understand the process, and that's where your expertise comes in.
Unfortunately, that does occur. We've had cases where the taxpayers decided, hey, I'm just going to handle it on my own, and then they get right in a pickle. They've done things they shouldn't have done, said things they shouldn't have said. Hey, the biggest thing is we all have an ego, right, Jason? We all go, oh, I can do it. I can handle it myself. No problem. Folks, really, you need to have help.
I have the biggest ego, but I'm smart enough to realize that if the IRS ever targeted me, I would need you to help me, and I would not ever think about taking them on myself.
Well, I'm really glad you think that way. That's the adult way to think.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
7:43. Chris Sullivan is at the traffic desk.
And we have settled into a rather typical Tuesday out there across the board. No real surprises for you guys. We're going to have the brake lights coming away from Linwood like we're used to. It's about an hour and 5 to an hour and 10 minute trip from Linwood to Seattle or to Bellevue. But again, two different types of drives. For 405 drivers, it's right there from Linwood all the way down through the past 522. And for I-5, it's from about 175th and Shoreline all the way down into the Seattle area. So just kind of a little different way of doing it, but still the travel time about the same, hour and a half out of Everett. The Puyallup to Renton drive running right around 50 minutes, maybe a little under, depending on how you hit the volume in Sumner. It's a little heavy getting in through and to Auburn. And then Renton to Bellevue is a little over 30 minutes. The Lake Bridges are still in very good shape. Federal Way to Seattle is running 10 minutes faster than normal at about 50 minutes. The westbound direction of 512 now really heavy past Steel Street trying to tie over to I-5. Just a lot of heavy volume for you guys there. Eastbound 16 starting to see the normal stuff we see generally right before 8 a.m. as well. And Issaquah, westbound I-90 is still pretty heavy getting into and through Front Street. Construction through that area, so plan on just a minute or two extra. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Fog in the south end this morning, but sunshine for all of us later. 52 the high today. Overnight lows mid and upper 30s. So tomorrow and Thursday look great. Some fog in the morning, but sunshine by afternoon. Highs around 50 both days. Friday's the next chance of showers rolling in with a high only of 48. Saturday looks pretty much the same. Right now in Seattle, it's partly cloudy and 40.
Coming up, what's next after Ghislaine Maxwell pleaded the Fifth during a deposition before the House Oversight Committee? That's on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision.
If you're over 50 and you've been diagnosed with a cataract, or your vision is changing as you're developing an early cataract, you could be a perfect candidate for K2 Vision RLE.
It's inevitable. At some point, typically in your 60s or 70s, you'll have a dysfunctional lens that eventually becomes a cataract. To restore your vision, vision, you will someday need a procedure such as refractive lens exchange.
The question is, are you done with glasses? Do you want to spend your good, active years hassling with changing prescriptions and needing readers?
K2 Vision RLE can give you great vision now, permanently, and you'll never develop that cataract. The procedure is quick and painless, and our state-of-the-art custom lens technologies give highly predictable outcomes.
K2 Vision surgeons have performed nearly 100,000 procedures. We know when RLE is right for you.
Find out. Schedule a free Zoom consultation at k2visionrle.com.
K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that, cools up to 8 times faster, and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed, plus free premium delivery with any bed and base. Ends Monday, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
7:47 now. Ghislaine Maxwell pleaded the Fifth during her deposition yesterday, where she appeared virtually before the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. News Nation's Vinay Simlot reports.
Ghislaine Maxwell is Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend. She was found guilty by a jury in New York of sex trafficking. She was accused of helping Jeffrey Epstein abuse underage girls. On Monday in a deposition, she refused to answer any questions.
Ghislaine Noel Marion Maxwell.
Appearing from a prison camp in Texas where she's serving a 20-year sentence, Ghislaine Maxwell, in a prison-issued brown shirt, invoked the Fifth Amendment in a deposition to Congress.
Were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions.
Her attorney, David Oscar Marcus, says it's because Maxwell is petitioning a court to overturn her conviction, arguing constitutional violations spoiled her trial.
Ms. Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump. Both President Trump and President Clinton are innocent of any wrongdoing. Ms. Maxwell alone can explain why.
So far, the Department of Justice has released 3.5 million pages of documents connected to Epstein. Republican Congressman Thomas Massey and Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna say they visited the Department of Justice to view unredacted documents. They say the files include evidence others have sexually abused girls.
We found 6 men whose names have been redacted who are implicated. One is pretty high up in the foreign government.
One of the others is a pretty prominent individual.
Massey and Khanna say they would like to see the Department of Justice go through the files again and look at those 6 individuals. Meantime, the White House says President Trump is not considering clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell. In Washington, I'm Vinay Simlot.
Well, President Trump has said he had no knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein's sex crimes, but some Epstein files suggest otherwise. More from CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace.
Points to a 2019 FBI interview with former Palm Beach, Florida police chief Michael Ryder. Ryder said in July 2006, as the criminal sex charge against Epstein became public, Mr. Trump called him to tell him Epstein's activities with teenage girls were well known in both Palm Beach and New York. Ryder also told the FBI Trump warned him Ghislaine Maxwell was Epstein's evil operative and to focus on her.
In July of 2019, Trump told reporters he had no idea Epstein had molested girls.
Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer facing calls to resign after revelations in the Epstein files connected his former ambassador to the United States, Peter Mandelson. However, Starmer himself is not named in the files. Your CBS News' Holly Williams with more.
But after the release of some Epstein documents last September by the U.S. House Oversight Committee, we learned more about the depth of that friendship, including after Epstein's conviction as a sex offender. Now, Starmer then fired Mandelson, but now, after the release of millions more Epstein documents last month, we've learned that Peter Mandelson is alleged to have leaked confidential British government documents to Epstein, including market-sensitive information, and also that Epstein apparently sent $75,000 to accounts linked to Mandelson.
Congress returned to Washington yesterday, where they face a deadline to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Otherwise, the department faces another shutdown.
The House will be in order.
On Capitol Hill, the clock is ticking towards another funding deadline. Lawmakers have until Friday to pass funding for the Department of Homeland Security.
It's very possible we won't have our work finished by then.
With just days to go, negotiations over immigration and customs enforcement reforms have reached a stalemate.
I'm sorry to say we've made little progress in reaching an agreement.
Democrats have a list of 10 demands, including the ending of roving immigration patrols, mandatory body cameras, and the unmasking of officers.
All we're asking is that ICE and other federal immigration agents adhere to reasonable standards to maintain trust, safety, and accountability in our communities.
While Republicans say they're only open to some of the reforms on the Democrats' list, many, like South Carolina Republican Lindsey Graham, are also calling for the end to sanctuary city policies. Graham says despite not supporting their demands, he will make sure the Democrats get a full vote on the Senate floor.
I certainly would not expect the whole list to be adopted.
In the event of a shutdown, ICE has contingency funds to keep operating, so the effects of a DHS shutdown would mostly be felt by agencies like TSA and FEMA. Some lawmakers say they'd be okay with another short-term funding extension.
We need to keep working toward a solution. And if it's going to take longer than a few days, we need to provide the time necessary to finish the job.
In Washington, I'm Gabrielle Caracciolo.
A pilot gave what he thought might be his final message to air traffic controllers as he made an emergency landing in Georgia.
A plane crash in Gainesville, Georgia, produced some frightening moments for the pilot on liveact.net.
Gainesville traffic, this is Bonanza 229, take it. We're not going to make it. Please tell my wife, Molly, I love her, and my parents. I love them so much.
They did make it. The plane crashed on a main road, hitting 3 cars. 2 people were injured, none seriously. I'm Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
It's 7:53. Around here, that's time for traffic. We do it every 10 minutes on the threes. Chris Sullivan, what do you have?
Well, no surprises out there for you guys, which is good. But the travel times, about average for a Tuesday morning. And that means 20 minutes slower than normal coming down out of the north end. But I think we've gotten used to that. Hour and a half drive from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with an hour and 10 of that just away from Linwood. For 405, the brake lights start right there at Linwood. For I-5, they start just inside 175th and go all the way down. Lake Bridges, now both of them starting to see a little westbound slowing for for 520. It's closer to the I-5 corridor. For I-90, it's kind of right around the western tip of Mercer Island. Federal Way to Seattle, about 50 minutes, so about 10 minutes faster than normal. The Valley Freeway, also about 50, 52, and then Renton to Bellevue is about 35. We are seeing some slowing on eastbound Highway 18 over the top of Tiger Mountain today, but nothing super out of line, and westbound I-90 continues to struggle through construction through Issaquah. Once you're through that area, it's not too bad the rest of the way on up until you get to about Eastgate. Looking at Federal Way to Seattle, already gave you that. Eastbound 16, a little slow past Cheney Stadium, and it looks like we might have our second crash of the morning just off the east end of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. I'll have more for you on that in 10. This report brought to you by Simply Seattle. Get your championship gear at Simply Seattle, your go-to shop for Seahawks gear with both license and custom designs you won't find anywhere else. Celebrate the title with jerseys, shirts, hoodies, hats, collectibles. Use code ESPN15 for 15% off your order at simplyseattle.com.
Forecast calls for sunny skies this afternoon after morning fog burns off. High in the low 50s. Maybe some more widespread fog tomorrow morning, but we should have sun in time for the Seahawks parade. High in the low 50s as well. 42 in Seattle right now.
And coming up in the next hour, Jake Goldstein-Street from the Washington State Standard joins us to walk through what's happening in Olympia.
You are listening to Seattle's Morning News right here on KIRO News Radio.
G and Ursula, 9 to noon on the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, KIRO News Radio.
We had a chance to talk to Beth Hartman. She was going to go to the game. It was on her bucket list. Tell us about your experience.
There were a lot of Patriots fans in our section, which was fine. And so once we sat there, I said to the guys in front of us, we're going to get super loud, and I have some earplugs. Why would we need earplugs?
Subscribe to the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel and watch live.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Give your attic an overhaul with new insulation from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. Stay cool all summer, slash utility bills, and boost your home's air quality. Call now and get $300 off attic ceiling and ventilation, or visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation, or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
It's the Super Smart Top Special at Olympic. Save on a new hot tub and get a free Smart Top cover worth $3,700. Super Smart Top special savings will make you feel, well, super. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Our First Mark Challenge victory is Aaron McCoy from McCoy Home Solutions, yet another small business owner that took the First Mark Insurance Challenge. Aaron, what was the initiative to make that call?
I've got something worth preserving for the sake of the people that I serve and my family. So it's important to me.
What did you learn through the process?
The experience with First Mark has been highly professional, informative individuals that have helped me from personal to professional insurance, life insurance, policies, coverage, cyberspace. Things that I was afraid to approach were pretty easily approachable.
How would you say their customer service has been, Aaron?
Absolutely 10 out of 10. I just couldn't say anything higher about First Mark. They've executed very well on as many levels as I could rate them.
So if you're a small business owner that wants to take the stress of insurance off your plate, do what Aaron McCoy did for McCoy Home Solutions. Make the call to First Mark Insurance. They're your teammate that goes to work for you. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
Ever notice how everyone has their own idea of clean?
Yeah, your clean desk still has 3 coffee cups.
Yeah, but clean energy is simple. It means no carbon emissions.
And that's what nuclear energy delivers, while providing steady, reliable electricity.
Those big white clouds above a nuclear power plant? Just water vapor, like warm breath on a cold day.
Nuclear energy provides 10% of Washington's electricity, all without adding carbon to the air.
Learn more at energy-northwest.com.
Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Savannah Guthrie called it an hour of desperation.
We need your help.
Needing help, her latest message asked for public help in the search for her 84-year-old mother, CBS's Andres Gutierrez.
This is now the fourth video the Guthries have put out since this, as Savannah puts it, nightmare began. The video itself is very raw. It's very emotional. She ends up opening by thanking people for their prayers and support that are coming in. She says that her family believes that their mom can feel all that love. She goes on to say that this case can no longer live with investigators. They want the public to be a part of it. They're asking for people to pay attention to what's around them and not to dismiss to anything that feels out of place.
President Trump has said he has no knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein's sex crimes, but CBS's Michael Wallace reports some information in the Epstein files could raise questions.
The Miami Herald points to a 2019 FBI interview with former Palm Beach, Florida Police Chief Michael Ryder. Ryder said in July 2006, as the criminal sex charge against Epstein became public, Mr. Trump called him to tell him Epstein's activities with teenage girls were well known in both Palm Beach and New York. Ryder also told the FBI Trump warned him Ghislaine Maxwell was Epstein's evil operative and to focus on her.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer today averted a leadership challenge, at least for now, as fallout from the Epstein files has brought down some politicians close to him, including one he had appointed as ambassador to the U.S. CBS's Holly Williams in London.
Multiple people here have remarked to me that public figures, the rich and the powerful in the UK, are being held to account for their ties to Epstein and suffering real consequences. But they do not see the same thing happening in the U.S.
And when it comes to politics here at home, CBS's Ed O'Keefe has more on where things stand at 9 months before the midterm elections.
Just to give you a sense of how bullish Democrats are now feeling about this. Once they start talking about making races in Montana, southern Minnesota, south side of Virginia, and that first district of South Carolina competitive, they're starting to smell something in the water that suggests they've got a shot here at not only taking the majority, but possibly stretching into the double digits, which would be quite something given the narrow margins we've had in the House the last few years.
A group of Buddhist monks has reached Washington, D.C. on foot.
They're coming. They're coming. They're coming.
Completing a 15-week journey from Texas called a Walk for Peace. The monks say their aim is to promote mindfulness and inner peace. Millions have followed them online. And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is up more than 200 points. The S&P and NASDAQ are higher. This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to CBS News Roundup on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's 8:03. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic.
And we're starting this hour kind of in the same position as we left last one with a pretty average drive. Travel times are about what you would expect. We're a month into this lane restrictions coming down from the north end, and so we've settled into the hour and 10-minute trip from Linwood and an hour and a half from Everett down to Bellevue or to Seattle. Again, different types of drives. Southbound 5, the brake lights don't start until you're south of Shoreline, and for 405, they're really right there at Linwood. Also seeing 99 being really heavy from Green Lake down into South Lake Union. No shocker there. And westbound 520 is heavy going into the Hood Canal Bridge area there as you work your way through Montlake into the actual direction of the lane closures. Looking at northbound 405, those Renton S-curves are active, but by the time you're up to about the VMAC, they should thin out. We might be getting reports of a crash right there by the Seahawks practice facility, but 35 minutes up into Bellevue isn't too bad. 50 from Puyallup to Renton. Olympia to Tacoma is not bad. Eastbound 16 is just heavy through Cheney Stadium. Whatever we had just east of the Narrows appears to be gone. Federal Way to Seattle running right around 52 minutes. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. For nearly 50 years, 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance. Right now, save up to $2,000 on new heating and cooling systems. Call the Comfort People, HomeComfortAlliance.com.
It's 8:04 and welcome to the Tuesday, February 10th, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
4 people were shot at an apartment building in Auburn yesterday. As we hear from KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha.
They found the women shot in this apartment complex. Hours later, Tukwila PD say a man was found with a gunshot wound after he'd gone into South Center Mall. And officers found that man who tried to run from police but was detained. Now, Phoenix Rising Apartments are part of a program for young adults experiencing homelessness. That's unclear what exactly led up to the shooting. As we mentioned, that's part of the investigation.
All 4 people are expected to survive.
The millionaire income tax proposal in Olympia has cleared its first committee.
Democrat Yasmin Trudeau says this bill is about leveling the playing field.
There are many across this state, I think, that continue to struggle to figure out whether they're going to put food on the table.
There is nothing in this bill that is making Washington state affordable.
That's GOP State Senator Perry Dozier. Now, Republicans on the Ways and Means Committee unsuccessfully proposed several amendments, including one to lock in the 9.9% tax rate and $1 million threshold, and another to remove the emergency clause, which prevents the measure from going to voters. Frank Lindsay, KIRO Newsradio.
The bill now goes to the Rules Committee.
And anti-tax activist Tim Eyman was actually tossed from that hearing. It happened just after the Senate Ways and Means Committee approved the bill.
Hands up in peaceful protest. I dissent to what the Democrats are doing.
Please.
It's wrong. I'm peacefully.
Will you please leave the security? Will you please escort Mr. Eyman out?
That was Committee Chair June Robinson. Eyman told her she was silencing dissent by having him removed.
Now that the U.S. government won't be making any new pennies, there's a proposal in Olympia to adjust cash transactions in our state. The plan would call for prices to be rounded up or rounded down to the nearest nickel. Molly Poffenroth is with the Washington Food Industry Association, and she supports the idea.
Our stores have been short on pennies for several months through the holidays. It's been pretty concerning.
The bill passed out of the Senate Business Committee last week.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, good morning. He's Charlie Harger. I'm Manda Factor, and Sully is headbanging again.
Of course he is.
With Sam Darnold, our wayward son.
It's going to be at Raising Cane's one of these days. Huh?
I have more details on that coming up.
Don't be a tease, Nick. We'll have it. We'll have it. Don't you worry.
I'll chill. All right.
Big next couple of days for Seahawks fans
just in
around
party mood,
the city.
nonstop,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Coming up on this hour of the show, Jake Goldstein-Street with the Washington State Standard will walk us through some of the bills in Olympia and where they currently stand.
All right, and Sully, you have a choke point coming up.
Yeah, I do. It's one small town community really suffering an emergency, but the mayor there says our governor is spending more time looking to the other Washington instead of looking at his real job.
Okay, well, that is on the way. The big parade for your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks set for tomorrow.
You know you want to say that one more time.
Your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
At least 750,000 people are expected to attend. Some are saying closer to 1 million. Seattle Police Captain Mark Garth Green says 4th Avenue will be closed starting at 6:30 tomorrow morning.
We need that so we can deploy our fencing, deploy our barriers, and get everybody safely on the route to watch the parade.
The trophy ceremony for the Hawks starts at 10 o'clock at Lumen Field. When that's over, the parade will go from there to Seattle Center.
Well, how do you move almost 1 million people around downtown Seattle? The answer is by asking people to ditch their cars and take transit. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson on transit options for the parade tomorrow.
What are the lessons from 2014?
To make sure that we have the vehicles and the staff available.
Metro will have more staff and buses on, but will stop outside of downtown, meaning bus riders will have to take shuttles to the beginning and end of the parade.
There will be shuttles that will get you as close as they can.
I would expect not only a long morning commute, but a difficult evening commute as well.
Meaning it's best to plan ahead.
Have a plan A, have a plan B.
Sound Transit will run link trains every 6 minutes from Linwood to Federal Way. That starts at 5 tomorrow morning. Also be extra Sounder trains from Tacoma and Everett.
Expect plenty of law enforcement flooding downtown for the Super Bowl parade. King County Sheriff's Deputy Jace Hoke has spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
It's going to be obviously alcohol consumed. We ask you to have a plan and don't get in a vehicle if you've been drinking.
Again, the city of Seattle estimates up to 1 million fans will be along the parade route.
Okay, as Nick almost spoiled for us, do chicken fingers taste better served by a Super Bowl winning quarterback?
I'm thinking yes. Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold is actually working a shift at Raising Cane's this afternoon in the U District. He's going to be at the new location on University Way from 3 to 4:15, serving up fries and chicken. It's the fast food chain's first restaurant in the city. Of course, Darnold just got back from Disneyland, where he celebrated Sunday's win with Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker III. Did you happen to see the video of them on the teacups?
On the teacups. That's just great video. They actually kind of look like they were enjoying themselves, too.
A heads up about this thing at Raising Cane's, though. It's going to be a mess.
I was just driving by that very location about 2 weeks ago in the middle of the day, and it was just gridlocked then. So you can only imagine a few hundred, maybe 1,000 people heading to see Sam Darnold. So just be ready for that.
We'll keep you posted. And now it's time to meet the new Super Bowl Barbie.
You know Barbie wouldn't miss a big opportunity. Mattel is debuting a Super Bowl 60 Seattle Seahawks doll. She's dressed in green pants and a green, gray, and blue short-sleeved shirt. To top off the look, a white visor and a blue foam finger raised in the number 1 to celebrate the winners. Barbie fans can pre-order the new dolls online. Price tag, $35. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
$35 seems reasonable.
I thought so, too.
Yeah. They could gouge you.
Yeah.
All right. Some of America's most important historical documents are coming to Seattle this summer. MoHi announced it will host the Freedom Plain National Tour as part of the nation's 250th anniversary celebration. Seattle is only one of 8 cities across the nation to host the exhibit. It's the final stop on the tour. Original documents on display will include an 1823 engraving of the Declaration of Independence, the Treaty of Paris, and a rare draft of the Constitution with handwritten notes. The exhibit runs July 30th through August 16th. It will be free and open to the public.
And in case you missed it, Team USA's first gold medal in the 2026 Winter Olympics came courtesy of a Western Washington University alum. Go Vikings. 30-year-old Breezy Johnson took home gold in the women's downhill event. She beat out the silver medalist by just 0.04 of a second. She fought back tears on the podium as the U.S. anthem played. If you've heard about the controversy of the medals, yes, hers is one that had the ribbon break and the medal fell to the ground. Next chance at a medal, hopefully one that doesn't break, will come Thursday morning in the Super G.
At 8:12, let's get a check on weather. Here's KIRO 7's Nick Allard.
Beautiful morning out there for most of the area. Some fog in the South Sound, but that's going to lift and we'll see some sunshine. You've had a little bit of fog west of Puget Sound as well, but I do expect it will clear, and all in all, a beautifully sunny day. Same thing tomorrow, but know if you're going to the parade, you are going to have some fog that will be around there for the trophy presentation and probably even the start of the parade, and then sunshine developing by about lunchtime with highs in the 50s. Then beyond that, more clouds for Thursday, leading to some showers and cooler weather Friday, Saturday, and again on Monday. Might even have a few Sunday, and that will mean some mountain snow, but not a ton, but some. Anything is good right now. But the bottom line is it'll be cold tomorrow morning. You will have fog when you head down to the parade, but sunshine will increase as it's going.
Some scattered clouds. It's 42 in Seattle right now.
And it's 8:13. Time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. So what's happening, Sully?
Well, really about an average drive. So really nothing is super out of the ordinary, which is great. But we still have just the grind getting down out of Snohomish County, what we've gotten used to. We're a month into this now, and we have about an hour and 10-minute trip from Linwood down to Seattle and about an hour from Linwood down to Bellevue. It's really slow on both of those corridors. About an hour and 20 from Everett to Bellevue, about an hour and a half from Everett to Seattle. And for those of you who normally get off, say, to get to Juanita, we have a crash on the ramp from 405 to 160th, and then we have a pretty nasty crash there on the Woodinville-Woodinville Road there. That's the road you take down into Kirkland there as you peel off from 160th, and the crash there is impacting both directions. So just watch out. There's something there on the off the freeways that is getting in our way. Across the lake, no real issues. Just about a 20-minute trip from Bellevue to Seattle on either Lake Bridge. Rented to Bellevue, what we have up at the VMAC are a couple of cars that are kind of tangled up right at 44th, northbound 405, and the tires of the second car are just kind of over the fog line, and so barely blocking a little bit of the right lane. And so that's why we've jumped up to 40 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. Behind that, we have about a 55-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton. Northbound 5 struggling into South Tacoma, which we normally see at this time of day, right around 72nd. It goes away as quickly as you get into it. A little bit of braking past Cheney Stadium. Federal Way to Seattle, if I didn't give it to you, 55 minutes. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
Well, it's a busy week in the Washington State Legislature, and joining us from the Washington State Standard is Jake Goldstein Street. Jake, bring us up to speed. The last week we were talking about some bills that were about not to meet a deadline last week, and we have a new deadline this week. What are some of the headlines you're following?
Yeah, so 60-day legislative session can be a tough one for new ideas. And so last week we saw a slew die at the first deadline. We had another deadline yesterday where more died. That first deadline, you had some controversial ideas about moving up when families have to attest that their children are going to homeschool from age 8 to age 6. This would have brought the state into line with the rest of the country, but it was very controversial among homeschooling advocates. So that didn't make any progress. Idea that obviously wasn't going to get any traction, but to move the state toward a 32-hour work week, that didn't go anywhere. Controversial bill that got some coverage about stopping law enforcement agencies in the state from hiring ICE agents hired under this Trump administration. Looked like it might go somewhere, ended up not getting a committee vote, so that's dead, and others. And then yesterday you had even more die. One that I had covered a few weeks ago would have taxed short-term rentals like Airbnbs at the local level, allowed cities and counties to levy a tax and use that money for affordable housing. It looks like that's not going to advance. You have another requiring our institutions of higher education to offer medication abortion on campus in their student health centers. That's not advancing. There's a slew, and there'll be another deadline next week. And so with this, the legislature is kind of moving into a new phase this week from a lot of action in committees to now bills have advanced. They're going to be on the floor getting full votes from the House and Senate for the next week or so.
Jake, do any of these have a realistic path back this session?
You know, as people say in Olympia, you can never say never. A lot of these could potentially get tied into other bills, and there is a chance that they could be creatively brought back. But I would say there is a slim chance that any of these will make the cut to come back later this session.
Jake, we've been following this one proposal that would essentially prohibit most local bans on homeless encampments in Washington state. Some people testifying said it could even mean a homeless encampment could be built on a public soccer field. There wouldn't be much police could do about it. Where do things stand with that bill?
Yeah, so this is House Bill 2489, and this is responding to a Supreme Court ruling at the federal level in 2024 saying that laws like, your no sit, no lie, those sorts of bans don't meet the threshold of what the U.S. Constitution calls cruel and unusual punishment. And so that opened the door for cities across the state and local governments to implement these sorts of laws, and many cities across Washington have them. And so that bill passed out of the first committee last week, and now it's, I think, just kind of waiting for a floor vote. It's obviously very controversial. It won't have any Republicans support, and some Democrats even crossing the aisle among moderates to no longer, be in support of this sort of proposal. But it is sort of a litmus test for where you stand on dealing with homelessness. It's, advocates of the bill say we shouldn't be criminalizing homelessness. The opponents, like you said, say we shouldn't have encampments on public fields, especially, where there's going to be kids or there's a lot of public traffic.
If this passes, I would assume there will be a legal battle.
Yes, I think that is a safe assumption.
All right. At the income tax, we have been playing some of the clips from the meeting yesterday in front of the Senate. Yesterday was a key hearing. Where do things stand with the income tax on millionaires?
Yeah, so the income tax that we've now been talking about for weeks has just passed the first hurdle toward going into law. It passed out of the Senate Ways and Means Committee, the Fiscal Committee in the Senate, with some changes. As you'll remember, the governor came out in kind of somewhat opposition to the proposal from legislative Democrats, not against the tax in general, but how the revenue from the tax is going to be offset to then give tax breaks to more working families. And so legislators made some changes to that yesterday. One of kind of the big ones was exempting small businesses from the state's business and occupation tax. Originally, that was set at those grossing less than $250,000 a year. That was raised to $300,000. They raised the charitable deduction from $50,000 to $100,000. They also are sending a bit more of the money toward public defense, which cities and counties are delighted with that idea, to be able to spend that money on public defense, because that's a bit of a crisis at the local level. But whether or not these things will be enough to appease the governor's wish to send more of that money toward working families, I think it's still an open question. I think there's still a lot more changes to be made around these margins. You won't see probably the 9.9% tax over $1 million change kind of the broad strokes of it, but it's more about what that revenue will be used for. And so one of the ideas that Republicans threw out yesterday was using the tax, the income tax, to stop charging the state's retail sales tax on diapers. Democrats turned that down. I think they're still open to that conversation, but aren't ready to go for that one yet. The bill does have removing the sales tax on grooming and hygiene products, your soaps, your toothpaste, deodorants, and I think there's more to be done in that area as well.
Talking with Jake Goldstein-Street from the Washington State Standard. Another thing we've been talking about this morning is the penny going the way of the dinosaur. What's up with that?
Yeah, so this is a fun one. Anyone who's been in a store lately might know that their grocery store might be short of pennies and have to make a decision about whether they're rounding up or rounding down. There's not a lot of guidance on how to do this, and so this bill that the legislature is considering would kind of make a uniform policy around what to do when you have uneven change and stores don't have pennies. Even some stores are looking for people to come in and bring them pennies. So if you were, depending on where you are, you would either round down to the nearest nickel below or round up to the nearest nickel above. And so, for example, if you had a purchase that was $4.97, you hand a $5 bill, the cashier would then charge you $4.95 to round down to the nearest nickel. If it's, at 98 cents, then they'd round up and you wouldn't get any change if you handed them a $5. So that's kind of where things stand. It's kind of a necessary thing to give guidance to our grocery stores and other retailers that are kind of dealing with this and not knowing exactly what to do as the pennies dissipate, as there's no longer any more production.
Well, Jake, last week we spoke with your colleague Jerry Cornfield at the Washington State Standard, and I got to tell you, he started talking about the 49ers. He was talking what a big fan he was, and he was just kind of begrudgingly saying the Seahawks might win. But how do you deal with that in the office? Are you okay?
We work in a very tight office, and it is difficult. I mean, around that divisional round game, at least it was fun that we absolutely kicked their butt. But you do have to keep him in line. He can really start talking about the Niners. He's still talking about Jerry Rice and Joe Montana. So
that's about all he can talk about.
Exactly.
Did you let him know we won in their house? Will we see you at the parade?
I will not be at the parade. I was at the last parade, but I will be down in Olympia, still covering the legislature, so I will be missing this one, unfortunately.
All right. Well, maybe there'll be a next one. Jake Goldstein-Street at the Washington State Standard. Jake, we'll check in with you next week.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. 8:23 and time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
And we've pushed up to about 40 minutes now from Renton to Bellevue because of this crash right there at the VMAC, right there at 44th. Just over the the right fog line is where these two cars are kind of tangled up. Just kind of a fender bender, but just be prepared. You're going to have to go super slow around them. So a couple of minutes lost there. Behind that, though, on the Valley Freeway, a little bit of a spillover, but overall 50 minutes from Puyallup to Renton isn't too bad. About 55 now from Federal Way to Seattle. We have about 35 of those minutes from South Center. Brake lights past the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Speaking of the lake bridges, both of them in the westbound direction are seeing a little bit of slowing, but it's not terrible. There might be a crash on Mercer Island in the westbound direction that may have just popped up. It's kind of gone red, yellow really quickly. I'm not sure, kind of by the lid, so I'm checking into that for you. Coming down from the north end, we've got about an hour and 15-minute trip now from Linwood into Seattle, about an hour from Linwood down into Bellevue. So now we've kind of flipped the script, where earlier this morning, 405 was worse. Now it's actually better than I-5. So, that's kind of the ebb and flow as people are looking to get away and around that slowing. This report brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care for 50 years. Bucky's Complete Auto Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing, guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Buc-ee's.com.
Morning fog should burn off, and we're heading for a high in the low 50s today. Same deal for tomorrow with late morning sunshine. So it looks like it'll be dry and potentially sunny for the Seahawks parade tomorrow. Right now in Seattle, it's 42.
All right, Sully, what's coming up in your choke point?
Well, we're going to take a look at the Fairfax Bridge issue and the mayor of the small town of Wilkeson really going after the governor for a lack of prioritization.
Soak it in, Seattle.
3, 2, 1. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60. They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Congratulations to your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
We got the best team. 12 is 1. We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other. And now we're world champions.
And this is where the champs play. The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Say goodbye to clogged gutters and climbing ladders. With K-Guard by Guardian, leaves stay out, water flows freely, and your home stays protected year-round. Enjoy true peace of mind. No maintenance and no rust. Choose from a variety of colors to match your home's look and boost your curb appeal. Ready for hassle-free gutters? Protect what matters most with Guardian, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit GuardianRoofing.com to learn more.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call Nunn Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you have two choices. Handle everything yourself or hire an experienced attorney. Go it alone, and you'll be on the phone with insurance adjusters, chasing medical records, fighting for lost wages, and trying to figure out what your case is really worth. Hire the right attorney, and they take all that off your plate so you can focus on getting better. Harold Carr Law Offices has a dedicated team of 48 people and more than 35 years of experience handling car accident cases right here in our community. Harold Carr Law Offices handles big cases and small ones while still treating their clients like family. Here's the difference they make. They save you time, reduce your stress, and get you significantly more money than you'd ever get on your own. Harold Carr Law Offices fights for you at no out-of-pocket cost to you. If you're in a car accident, call them right away. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
When was the last time you watched your home movies?
Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories.
Hi, I'm Nick. And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Fresh food comes from local farms. Check the package. For the best for your family, choose locally fresh Wilcox Family Farms eggs. And for eggs with 3 times the omega-3, choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:31. 4 people were shot at an apartment building in Auburn yesterday.
KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha has more.
They found the women shot in this apartment complex. Hours later, Tukwila PD say a man was found with a gunshot wound after he'd gone into South Center Mall. And officers found that man. He tried to run from police but was detained. Now, Phoenix Rising Apartments are part of a program for young adults experiencing homelessness. That's unclear what exactly led up to the shooting. As we mentioned, that's part of the investigation.
That 4th person is believed to be the suspect. Luckily, all are expected to survive.
Well, the Seahawks are home. Seattle Super Bowl champs landed at SeaTac yesterday, headed straight to the team facility in Renton. A police SUV with lights flashing led the way for 6 buses full of players and coaches, and the fans were ready. Seattle Times reports about 50 people in Seahawks gear lined up outside the VMAC to greet them, waving flags, holding up banners, and cheering as the buses rolled in.
Big crowd expected for tomorrow's Super Bowl parade in downtown Seattle.
Last time we won, 2014, we had about 750,000 people. We're expecting the same, if not more, into the city this time.
Seattle Police Captain Mark Gareth Green says if you're not going to the parade, you might want to stay out of downtown Seattle. If you are going, he says you should get there early, use mass transit. Trophy presentation set for 10 a.m. at Lumen Field. The parade starts after that, goes along 4th Avenue to Seattle Center. 4th Avenue will shut down at 6:30 in the morning. Probably won't reopen until 4.
Can you please reveal what your investigation just uncovered?
Just found out from the Seattle Times that there would be plenty of porta potties along the route. Now, if you went to the parade 12 years ago,
there were none.
There wasn't a dang one. It was not great.
No.
So they've apparently learned that lesson. Plenty of porta potties. So good news there.
Yes, Seattle Public Schools will be open tomorrow, parade or no parade. The district says classes will run on their normal early release schedule, even as the city celebrates the big Super Bowl win. Going to the parade won't be an excused absence.
Well, they're saying what? 750,000 to 1 million people going. Washington State has a population of 8 million.
Yeah, do the math.
Could be as many as 1 of every 8 people in the state going tomorrow.
A lot of kids are going to have unexcused absences.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, it's 8:33, and Chris Sullivan is at the traffic desk.
I have a way around that, but I'm not going to say it. You can hit me up on the text line for my very creative ideas. Away from the drive now, we're starting to pick up the pace, actually. From Linwood down to Bellevue now, it's only 50 minutes, which is great. So we picked up about 10 minutes, hour and 10 all the way. Now it's still slow from Linwood down through 522, a little bit in Totem Lake, but it's faster than I-5. I-5 still an hour and 10 from Linwood and an hour and a half from Everett to Seattle, so a little bit slower there. Both of the westbound lake bridges see a little slowing as you approach I-5, but that's it. Whatever we had westbound on I-90 in the middle of Mercer Island appears to have taken care of itself. Northbound I-5, under 55 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. Really, the heaviest spot there is right by the West Seattle Bridge. The West Seattle Bridge itself is also pretty slow trying to head over to I-5. Renton to Bellevue, watch for a couple of cars just over the fog line on the right side, right at the Seahawks practice facility. There at 44th in Renton. We have about a 40-minute trip for you up to Bellevue, and behind that, about 50 minutes from Puyallup to Renton, maybe a little under, and Pierce County is clearing out. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
I forgot to mention my investigation, which uncovered Super Bowl Barbie is actually very cute, totally decked out in Seahawks gear.
And only $35.
Yeah. We had some questions about it on the text line because it wasn't described very well earlier. Okay, some fog in spots this morning, but then it's going to be a nice afternoon. Sunshine and 52. For tomorrow, again, fog early, but it should lift by parade time. Some sunshine and 50. Same deal Thursday. Showers return on Friday. It's 40 in Seattle right now.
I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Solomon.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, the state won't declare what's happening to the town of Wilkeson an emergency. So lawmakers are now asking the federal government to help.
And we get the update this morning from Sully.
Wilkeson is dying on the vine. The small town northwest of Mount Rainier has lost almost all of its economic engine. Tourism, since the Fairfax Bridge was closed last year. The bridge wasn't closed because a truck damaged it or a natural disaster happened. It was closed after decades of intentional neglect by state lawmakers. They refused to spend the money to keep the bridge in good shape, despite reports it was getting worse and worse. That doesn't qualify as an emergency. That would give businesses access to loans to stay afloat, and WashDOT says it will take at least 6 years to replace this bridge. State Senator Phil Fortunato now wants to ask the federal government for help, not necessarily with funding, but to cut red tape.
We're asking the federal government to speed this stuff along by waiving certain things or moving the NEPA requirements to almost the end of the project, et cetera.
NEPA, if you don't know, that's the acronym for the environmental review process that is required for things like this from the federal government. They have issued a joint memorial, which has bipartisan support to ask the federal government for this help. Wilkeson Mayor Jamie Pololi says she's tired of waiting.
Our state leaders have made it clear that they do not plan to elevate this crisis to the level of urgency that it deserves. Federal involvement is necessary because this crisis has outgrown the pathways currently available that are at the state level.
And she's gone even farther. Mayor Pololi says that Governor Ferguson is too busy focusing on President Trump and what his administration is doing and not emergencies in his own backyard.
When statewide leaders focus public communication on national public conflict and political conflict, while communities within their own state are navigating infrastructure failure and emergency access, it leaves residents questioning whether their crisis is being seen or prioritized. The silence is not just symbolic, it has real consequences.
Mayor Pololi is asking the governor how much her community must suffer before anything is done.
How much emergency access must be compromised before leadership steps in and chooses to act? And ultimately, what number of constituents is enough to make this a large enough emergency that the governor feels a responsibility to step in and help find a solution?
There are only two plans going forward. The first is to replace the bridge, which would cost at least $160 million. The second is to tear the old bridge down and not replace it. Complicating matters is that the bridge is on the National Registry of Historic Places. There's red tape around that, which could impact what happens. That's part of the joint memorial, would be asking for them to remove the bridge from that list and then declare this closure an emergency. It's been heard by both chambers so far in Olympia. It hasn't gotten out of either transportation committee, but it's been heard. And there is some time to move this forward. And again, I said there's bipartisan support for this. The closure of the 105-year-old bridge has not only devastated the communities around it, it's also cut off some of the best hiking and camping areas in the Mount Rainier National Park.
It's a beautiful spot, and the red tape and just the lack of action. It's got to be frustrating for everybody who lives there.
Yeah, because, I mean, overnight, they lost everything. And unlike if a bridge had been taken out by a truck or a landslide, those businesses would be eligible for emergency loans to try to keep them afloat. They're not eligible, which doesn't make any sense to me.
They've got to find a workaround.
Yeah, I mean, willful neglect and creating your own emergency isn't an emergency. I mean, somebody's got to take responsibility for this, and right now no one really is, and now they're reaching out to the feds to help them. But yeah, they're really over a barrel here in those little towns right there that lead into Mount Rainier, and yeah, they're struggling.
Okay. All right. Well, stay on top of that. You can read more at mynorthwest.com. So you have traffic coming up, and where will you be starting?
I think I'll be focusing, shockingly, on southbound I-5 getting away from Shoreline. We'll break it down next.
It's why we bake in the sun out on the berm every summer at training camp. It's why we scream till it hurts. Come fall and winter.
Listen to the 12th man.
It's why we're 12s.
And the party begins. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
Soak it in.
They lived up to the dark side today. It's going to go down in the history books.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Have you thought about how your finances should change in 2026? Well, my friends at WaFd Bank can help. Right, Brad?
Right, Dave. Set your financial goals and stick to them with free checking. No minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. You also get spending tools to help you stay on top of your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states.
And tell me about this voice-activated banking I've been hearing about.
You can check your balance and make transfers between your WaFd accounts when your hands are full, which, let's face it, is probably most of the time. You'll also have access to free tools like person-to-person payments with Zelle, mobile check deposit, intuitive new debit card management tools to turn your card on and off, set spending notifications, and when those unfortunate times happen, submit fraud disputes right inside the WaFd mobile app.
And you can choose from those great-looking Seattle Kraken and Seattle Seawolves debit cards. So visit wafdbank.com to open your account today. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
It's 8:43 now. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic.
And the one little issue that we have on the board is really not that big of one on what has become, just an average Tuesday out there. It's northbound I-405 as you make your way up by the Seahawks practice facility at 44th. We've been dealing with a couple of cars tangled up on the right-hand side of the road, and they were just over the fog line. It looks like they've moved those cars off to the exit, and so we're finally seeing things break up there a little bit. By the time you're up to 30th, it really starts to clean out until you get up to I-90, but you need about 40 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. Behind that, there is some pretty significant spillover on northbound 167 from before 180th on up. You're going to need about 25 minutes still out of Auburn and 50 all the way from Puyallup, maybe just a little under. Eastbound 16 continues to see the brake lights past Cheney Stadium there, or the exit at 19th as you work your way around trying to get to Tacoma. Most of Pierce County is cleared out, and Federal Way to Seattle's only running about 50 minutes, with 35 of those minutes from South Center. Lake Bridges, we do have some westbound slowing off of Mercer Island and across to the Mount Baker Tunnel. Give yourself about 25 minutes across the lake there, about 22 on 520. Coming down from the north end, hour and 10-minute trip from Linwood to Seattle, about 50 minutes, though, from Linwood to Bellevue. So we're getting better on 405, but again, what usually happens right about this time is we start picking up a little late slowing approaching 9 a.m. right around Totem Lake in Kirkland, so I don't know if that travel time will hold. This report brought to you by Simply Seattle. Get your championship gear at Simply Seattle. Go to your go-to shop for Seahawks gear, both licensed and custom designs you won't find anywhere else. Celebrate the title with jerseys, shirts, hoodies, hats, and collectibles. Use code ESPN15 for 15% off your order at simplyseattle.com.
Fog in the south end this morning, but it's going to be a nice afternoon. Sunshine and a high of 52. Tomorrow it'll be foggy for all of us, but it should lift before the parade time. 50 the high with some sunshine in the afternoon. Same deal Thursday. Looks like we're going to get back to some showers for Friday and Saturday. It's 40 in Seattle right now.
Okay, coming up, Manda.
Yes.
G. Scott stops by. Do you want to say the words?
He is back in the house.
To talk about?
Oh, the Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl champions. Or the other way around. Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
You just wanted to say it twice.
I did.
It's coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
If you've been sitting in traffic long enough to finish a podcast and question your life choices, it's time to flip your trip. Ride transit. Find a park and ride or roll past stress on a bike or scooter. Free yourself from traffic jams at flipyourtrip.org.
With Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, maintenance is the key to a long-lasting roof. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? Call us today. Our first-time customers can save $99. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Save $1,700 when you have Day and Night match your current furnace with a qualifying AC or heat pump.
Your furnace is lonely all by itself, but it doesn't have to be. With our Matchmaker Special, we'll match your furnace with a perfect air conditioner or heat pump to keep your furnace company and your home comfy all year round.
Match your furnace to a qualifying cooling system and save $1,700.
DayandNight.net.
Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Well, here he is. And Manda, did you notice that G. Scott did not walk into the studio?
He kind of floated.
He floated. What a year that your Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl champions. G.
Boy, it's nice to have you back.
Yeah,
what
it's
an epic trip
good
for
to
you.
be back. I enjoyed this Super Bowl win better and more than the 2013.
Why?
Well, I said exactly this to Cliff Averill at the Seahawks after party, and the look on his face was, whoa, explain this.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why. So 2014 was the year that it was played. They beat the Broncos, and we all remember that. And so that was 12 years ago. And 12 years ago, I was younger then, and I was just like, oh, my goodness, this is awesome. This is great. It was the first Super Bowl that the Seahawks had ever won. I'm like, great. This team is so good. It's going to happen again next year. Yes. You know what I mean? It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. Yes. And they make it to the Super Bowl, and then they lose. I'm like, oh, okay, no big deal. They lose the Super Bowl. They were 1 yard away. They'll be back the next year. And then they just don't.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that got an opportunity to be a part of that in 2013 season and played in 14. And then now today you just really understand the appreciation of when they got back. And so this whole ride that the Seahawks have been on, I didn't know if they were going to win or not. But I think we learned that from the Mariners, right? Like whether or not they win or not, just enjoy it. And boy, did the Mariners give us so much to talk about. And the Seahawks right now have done just that. Also, I'd argue that what was going on in our world in 2013 is different than it is today. I think it's more intense. I think whatever you think, right? Whatever you think is going on. And for this little bit of time, no matter what we're going through, if you're a Seahawk fan, things ain't fixed. But boy, it feels a lot better.
We're all together, man.
Boy, you're thinking about that parade tomorrow. And right now in the city of Seattle, you are talking about coming together, all walks of life, cultures, political affiliations, doesn't matter. Right? When you hear the 12 as one, and Mike McDonald keeps talking about the 12s, that unity around that, and just coming together. Sports does that. Sports has the power to do that. So, yeah. I enjoy this one so much more.
Especially a team like this, too. I mean, they are young and dedicated, and they really seem to love each other.
They do. They do. And I'm not just saying that, but they really do. I mean, like right now, you're seeing like on the news right now, the Puka Nakua, like he's out there getting drunk and out there. And if you're a Seahawk fan, like you literally have not just a Super Bowl trophy, not just a championship, world champs, best in the world. You have a team that you can be proud of. You have young men that are not in the stories. They're not in the news. Stephon Diggs, they lost the Super Bowl. And what's going on with him? Well, Cardi B breaks up with him because he has his baby mama right there front and center. Matter of fact, Stephon Diggs still has a felony case that he's getting ready to fight. They have another member on the Patriots that is fighting a felony as well.
We are the good guys.
You literally have a movie where the good guys win in its entirety. Yeah, I floated in here. Yes, this is great. Did I think it was going to taste this good? Hell no. But damn, it tastes good. It's like going to your grandmama's house and she makes your favorite dish and it tastes better than you thought it was going to be. So, look, it's hard for me to just get off this high right now, but, man, I got to keep this all the time.
So tomorrow... I'm a guy who doesn't like parades. I don't like parades.
Yeah.
Unless it's a Seahawks Super Bowl championship
The last parade I enjoyed was the Seahawks parade, and here we are. I had pneumonia at the time, too. It was rough, but I had to be there.
Yeah.
This year, I'm bringing my son. He is not going to school tomorrow. I think a lot of people are not going.
How dare you miss school?
Oh, you can't miss this parade.
Here's what I got to thinking about. I was honestly thinking, well, maybe we should have.
How did you say it? Did you say it to yourself?
I said to myself, I thought we would also have an opportunity to go back to the Super Bowl. And so here's what my mind was thinking. Self, we're going to go back to the Super Bowl. Let's not do it this year. Maybe in a couple of years, Sam and I will be able to go together. Yeah. And that's just crazy thinking. Let's live in the moment. We get to enjoy this. We got to see the Seahawks win the Super Bowl again.
And I guarantee you, if you're listening right now and you're going to probably go to that parade, and look, I suggest you do, and here's why. Just so you can just say you were just there for the moment.
Yeah.
Just so you can just take that selfie with your loved ones, with a stranger, with a friend, and you're just saying, I was there in that moment. Because here's the truth. There's no guarantee that this will happen again. I was 10 years old living in Chicago. Chicago Bears win the Super Bowl. Oh, my goodness. That was fantastic. 1985 season.
May I say, when you go to the parade tomorrow, emulate the team and be the good guys? Like,
be the
right?
Great point, Manda.
Keep the unity and togetherness coming.
Yes, great point. But that was 1985 season.
Yeah.
The Bears still have not won a Super Bowl. And I ain't the best with math, but ain't that about like 40 years?
It's been a while. All right, he's playing your music.
Wait, life is so good. Manda, you said come together. There's no way you're going to kick me out.
I'm afraid I have to. Again, we have bills to pay. But look forward to hearing this show coming up 9 to noon.
So you didn't kick me out?
You may be excused.
Dang it.
Sully has traffic.
And we are doing, about average. And as I guessed about 10 minutes ago, we're seeing a little late arriving crowd on 405 through Totem Lake and Kirkland. And so we've jumped back up to an hour drive from Linwood to Bellevue, hour and 10 from Linwood to Seattle. So the typical stuff for you guys. Northbound 167, also a little heavier now from before 180th into Renton. That's going to give you about a 52-minute drive all the way. And then Renton to Bellevue is about 40. Lake Bridges, 25 minutes to go from Bellevue to Seattle on either one of them, so that's not too bad. Federal Way to Seattle, 50 minutes there. There is some braking right around Highway 18 in both directions of I-5. The Olympia to Tacoma Drive, no problems for you guys. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Fog in the south end, but sunshine for all of us later. We're headed for a high of 52 today. Tomorrow, parade day, pretty much the same thing. Right now, it's 40 in Seattle.
You think G has stories?
Oh, my goodness, so many.
It's going to be talking about Super Bowl week, what led up to it, and what to look forward to at the parade tomorrow. Coming up on the G and Ursula Show, right here on KIRO News Radio.
Soak it in, Seattle.
3, 2, 1. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60. They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Congratulations to your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
We got the best team. 12 is 1. We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other. And now we're world champions.
And this is where the champs play. The home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Olympic Hot Tub Super Smart Top Special is here. Hey, it's Ryan Roland Smith. This is your chance to save now on your new hot tub and get a free Smart Top worth $3,700. Take it from me because I have one. Smart Top is the ultimate cover for your tub. Strong, long-lasting, and ready to defend your tub against northwest weather. Super Smart Top special savings will make you feel, well, super. Details at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio.